The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your SuperChats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
I give up. I give up. I can't do it anymore. I can't. This was a disgrace.
Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season. We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
I mean, what do we even say? What do we even say? This team just finds new ways to lose in the most agonizing of ways. Every time they play in primetime, minus the one outlier against New England, which doesn't even feel real when you think about it, this team finds new ways to kill us. Seriously. Like, I'm angry. I'm also just numb. I really am. I can't even be surprised. Because every time you think it's going to turn, it never does. It never does. And tonight, I mean, you lose a game that you should have won how many different times in the second half? Only the Jets can have Aaron Rodgers look like Aaron Rodgers tonight and still lose. On a night he throws a Hail Mary, something we have seen for years watching this guy. He's doing it for our team, and they still lose the game. And we're losing because our kicker, who the last 2 years has been one of the best in the league, all of a sudden forgot how to kick. And please, do not tell me it's windy. I don't care if it's windy. Your job is to hit a 32-yard kick. Tyron Smith looks washed. Michael Clemens should be cut. Mike Williams is slipping on the shit MetLife turf at the end there. Oh, I hate everyone. I hate these officials. Where do we start with them? I'm angry. I'm also numb. I don't know what to say. They should have won tonight and beaten this Bills team. They should be 3-3 right now, and the entire outlook of the season's different. Greg Zuerlein, 2 for 4 on field goals tonight. Only the Jets could doink twice in a game. Seriously, when was the last time a kicker hit the post twice in a game? So not only does he miss, he misses in the most spectacular fashion too, because of course. I mean, it's amazing, man. Rodgers was so good at times tonight, and they still couldn't win. They still couldn't win. I mean, the penalties tonight were a joke. Javon Kinlaw, what are you doing? Oh, my God. Just beat yourself. How many different ways tonight? Oh, this was just agonizing. Agonizing, man. There were just so many missed opportunities. 1 for 4 in the red zone. I mean, come on. And really, it was everyone. It really was. There are the main guys we'll highlight. I already mentioned Tyron Smith. He looks washed. I mean, God, man. But even like Garrett Wilson, right? It's tough hit. Can you hold on to it, man? That's a touchdown there. Or how about Breece Hall? You got one guy to make miss on that long run, and you get caught and can't score a touchdown. Like, these are the things that are the difference in the game. And both those guys were awesome tonight for the most part. Like, only the Jets could lose this game. Breece had 113 rushing yards. He almost had, he had 170 yards from scrimmage if you count his receiving. Lazard went over 100. Garrett went over 100, and they still lost. Oh, it's just how they beat themselves, man. Like, this was good enough to win. Hit kicks, you win. Hit the kick against Denver. You steal that one despite how bad you played. Like, it's all right there, these games. It's not like they're getting killed. It's a play here or there. They're so close, but they don't win. Because this franchise might be cursed. Because even when Aaron Rodgers plays great tonight, they still can't win. It was supposed to be different. Rodgers went out there and they had a 100 quarterback rating, nearly threw for 300 yards, would have if Mike Williams didn't slip. Oh, my God, man. How do you lose with a quarterback playing that well? How? I can't, man. And this defense doesn't get a pass either. I know they held Buffalo to just 3 in the second half, but how do you come out and start like that? Ray Davis is gashing you up? What, they think because Dalvin Cook's brother wasn't playing, we're good, we're fine, we don't need to do anything? Oh, and then you tack on all these penalties. They were egregious. Some of them were egregious. Some of them were just stupid by the Jets. You know, one of the penalties, the one by Lazard, cost the offense a huge gain that they ended up having to punt away. There were just so many plays, man. I mean, I don't want to rewatch this game, but if you go rewatch it, you'll find 10 different things that it's like, man, they just did that, they probably win. They just do this, they win. Oh, this was the worst, man. This was excruciating. I mean, this was so painful. Oh, my God, that holding call by Tyron Smith. You just knew that was going to cost him. It reminded me of the Vegas game last year against the Raiders when Brees scored and C.J. Uzomah was getting called for holding. You knew it would cost him that night? Believe me, I was there, and it cost him tonight. Oh, my God, I don't even know what to say. I am disgusted. This team should not be 2-4. That's what's so frustrating. I've seen bad Jet teams. This team's got real talent on it. They had 2 100-yard receivers, a 100-yard running back, a quarterback who threw for 300 yards basically tonight and had a 100 quarterback rating, and they still lost. And you know what really pissed me off? These clowns laughing on the sideline on defense after they're committing stupid penalties. You know, Greg Zuerlein, Thomas Morstead, all buddy laughing after Greg shanks another kick. Oh, my God. I don't even know how it's possible to lose the way the Jets lose. It is so painful. And there's nothing you could do. Like, this is the team. They're not firing Obrick. He's the coach, and you live with it. And we'll see what happens. You got 2-4. It feels over. I don't see how you win the AFC East now. It seems highly unlikely. But really, everyone's going to say the season's over, and you're probably going to be right when we look back on it. This was probably going to be the game that we define and go, yep, this could have been the game that if they won, everything's different. And if they won, the play that would have saved everything would have been the Rodgers Hail Mary. We finally got the guy doing that for us. Changed everything. And then Greg Zuerlein misses 2 kicks in the second half. And Tyron Smith commits one of the most brutal holding calls you'll see. He didn't even touch the guy on the Bills. And it wouldn't have mattered. Allen would have scored anyway. And it's criminal because guess what? Downing, I thought, actually caught a pretty good game. They were balanced. They kept the Bills on their heels. Rodgers looked comfortable out there. I mean, how many different receivers caught balls tonight? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys? And, you know, screw me. I'm screaming for Mike Williams all night to get involved. He finishes with no catches on 3 targets, drops an easy one, and then slips with a chance to make a huge play at the end there. Oh, this game, I mean, this is nightmare stuff, man. Nightmare. And guess what? Back in prime time next week. So another week where we could be the embarrassment of everyone in the football universe. Everyone could watch us find a new way to lose next week. How's it going to happen? I mean, I am sick of it. This team should not be losing these kind of games, man. That's what just kills you. This was excruciating. Last year, they started 3-3 last year. They're 2-4 right now. Aaron Rodgers already has more passing touchdowns than Zach Wilson had all last year, yet they're a win worse. How? And the schedule this year was easier than last year. Last year, they had the gauntlet of elite quarterbacks to start the season. Last year, they had Allen week 1. They had Dak week 2. They had Mahomes week 4. They had Hurts week 6. And they were 3-3. Oh, I can't, man. Like, if I don't laugh, I'm going to cry. I cannot do this. I can't. I cannot believe they lost this game tonight. I know I can believe it, but it's just even saying it. It's just like, how? How? Oh, my God. 359 total yards allowed tonight. 149 on the ground. I don't care if they settle down in the second half. The way they came out on defense, I mean, God, man. It's like, this is why they're a bad team. Because when the defense plays well, the offense sucks. And when the offense gives you something, the defense then sucks. They can't play complementary football. And tonight, the special teams, awful. Greg Zuerlein, awful. And this is a guy who was so good the last 2 years. And he has directly led to 2 losses this year. You don't want to kill him for Denver? All right. But can you hit your kicks tonight against a division opponent at home? I know it's windy. It's 32 yards, man. Oh, my God. This was just the worst. The absolute worst. I mean, only the Jets could finally have the quarterback and then waste it. Because anyone blaming Rodgers tonight, I'm not dealing with it. I'm not. This guy has given this team better quarterback play than anything we've seen in the decade. 2-4, man. And it's just like, and watch, we're going to somehow convince ourselves, 6 days from now, or 5 days from now, whatever it is, it's after midnight now, then they're going to somehow beat Pittsburgh. I mean, sure. God, I can't. 2-4, how? 11 penalties for 110 yards. 50 penalties on the year. And yes, some of them were absolute horse you-know-what, but still, man, God, how? How? We know how, because Jets. I'm so done, man. I'm so done. I mean, this was sickening, man. Tyron Smith was second-team All-Pro last year. How is he this bad now? You got to put Olu out there on the field if Tyron Smith's going to play like this. There was a play tonight. I forget when in the game. I'm like blacking out even trying to remember this. Where Buffalo had a 3-man rush and Rodgers still got hit. Because Tyron Smith got blown up. And one of the drives, the Jets actually got a phantom call. Rodgers knew that roughing on him was soft. He mouthed it to the Bills player, Espinoza. But the officiating tonight was brutal. Everything about this game was brutal. The weather, I know it was freezing at the game tonight. You feel for the fans, man. You feel for this fan base. Once again, ready to go. And this team just lets you down. Lets you down again and again and again. And we keep coming back for more because we're all idiots. We're all morons. Oh, it's so bad. This was just agonizing, man. Just beat yourself. I mean, it's so stupid, man. You just beat yourself over and over and over again. This game should have been won. They should be in first place right now. And it's just, they let it slide. And you knew when Zuerlein missed the first kick, it was going to hurt him. And then when he missed the second one, it's like, all right, now they're going to lose in the most excruciating possible way. And on the last play, oh my God, this is where, by the way, not having JFM, not having Bryce Huff, losing Jermaine Johnson in week 2, we saw it play out tonight. Because Michael Clemens with the game on the line, Josh Allen's running right at him because he knows Clemens is a moron and is not going to set the edge. We all knew that was going to happen too. 3rd and 4, you're going to put the ball in your best player's hand. There was no scenario where Josh Allen was not having the ball in his hands there. I knew it. You all knew it. Everyone but Michael Clemens knew it. It's so bad. So this team has to now win what? They're going to have to get the 10 wins. They need to go 8-4 going into tonight. Or they already lost the first one. I don't see it right now because they beat themselves. What's going to change here? They showed some life on offense. They looked like a presentable NFL offense tonight. The quarterback played well when he had time. When Tyron Smith wasn't getting him killed. And, I'm seeing the quotes from Rodgers. He said, I'm here to win those games. He's taking accountability. He's putting it on himself. It's not on him, man. I'm sorry, it's not. Your kicker's got to hit kicks. Mike Williams can't be slipping. It's just only the Jets could lose with quarterback play that is like this. It's unreal, man. Like, we finally got the Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary that we've all been dying to see. We got it. They could have been down 20-10 at halftime. It's 20-17. They come out, they get the ball, they have a chance to take the lead, and they settle for a goddamn field goal because Tyron Smith is committing a stupid hold. And it's just awful. Awful. I mean, The pain rooting for this team gives you. It's just no other team goes through this. Because when the Jets are bad, everyone knows they're bad. Or when there's embarrassing things that happen to the Jets, everyone sees it. Everyone lives it. It's everywhere. It's New York. It's also all over ESPN and Fox and all the blogs. No one cares if the Jaguars suck or the Titans suck. They get to be bad and no one pays any attention. When the Jets are bad, it is heightened. I mean, to lose this game, to have the same record as the Dolphins, only have one more win than the Patriots right now, have the same record as the Giants. It's like the Jets are so much better from a roster standpoint than these teams. And you're still losing games like this. I mean, God. I hate everyone. I'm like, I don't even know what to say. I'm just gonna read super chats now. Sorry. I am at a loss for words, unfortunately. And it's just, wow. I mean, even for Jet standards, this was a level of excruciatingly painful, that a level of excruciating pain that I don't even know how to describe. I'm numb to it, man. Wow. I mean, this was a debacle. Listen, super chat. Smith and Kinlaw cost us the game. NFL game is a meeting of the council of referees. Though we deserve many, at least we know our QB receiver link is no longer an issue. Wilson, Lazard on fire. I mean, it is still an issue. Because Mike Williams had a chance to make a play with the game on the line, and he slipped. He also had another brutal drop earlier in this game. I don't know what's happened to him the last two games. 9th straight season with a 3-game losing streak. Longest active in the NFL. Like, good teams don't lose 3 in a row. The Bills have not lost 3 in a row since 2018. That was the year before Josh Allen became an MVP quarterback. That was his second year. Like, it doesn't happen if you're a good team. And the Jets right now are not a good team. They're not. And if they want any chance of saving their season, these next 2 are must-wins. But why would I expect the Jets to win the next 2? Because they have shown you they can literally lose to anyone. I mean, 4 for 12 on third down. That was brutal. 1 for 4 in the red zone. That killed them. That was the game. 4 trips to the red zone. You score 1 touchdown. That's embarrassing. Military Mike, I can't do it anymore. 43 years, this team has finally broke me. You know what, Mike? I hear you. And here's the thing. You're going to be watching next week. We know it. I know it. Everyone in this chat knows it. How will they do it to us next week? Can't wait. Jetpack, getting cancer, being a Jet fan. Season's over. Ugh. Chris, this team is undisciplined. Penalties killed us. Tyrants washed. Penalty took away Allen touchdown, which, by the way, was a great creative play call by Downing. Use Allen as a fullback. Brilliant. I can't do it anymore, man. Thank God the Yankees won tonight. And if you're a Met fan, I'm happy for the Met Jet fans, which there are many. Man. And honestly, this game was so bad, I'm not even truly enjoying the Yankee win like I should. It's just, I can't. I hate rooting for this team. I love this fan base. I love this audience. I mean, this season's taken years off my life. It's just like, it's befuddling. They're 2-4. Like I've seen bad Jet teams be better than this. The 2017 Jets with McCown were 3-2. This team is so much better than that team. Like I feel like I'm taking crazy pills and they're 2-4 right now. Brandon writes in, Jake, I love you. I can't do it anymore. I love it. Hector, 31 other teams and we're the ones sucking. Yeah, always. Cheese, man. As soon as we missed the second kick, I knew. Sometimes I feel like I'm in purgatory rooting for this team. False hope just to take it away every season. And that's the thing with being a fan of this team. Like, the Jaguars got embarrassed in London. You knew it was over. Like, all 7 of their fans knew it was over, like in the first quarter, right? The Jets, I fly out to London with all these diehards and meet so many great fans who, for whatever reason, chose this crummy-ass football team to support. The Jets get down 17-0, and then they tease you. Denver, they should have lost that game. Bronco kicker Will Lutz misses the kick. They have hope. Then Zerline misses. You're like, there it is. It's just like they tease you. They give you that false hope. Tyler, this team's allergic to winning. Feels like it. Jetpack, I'm 34 years old. I'm done. Done. I get it. At least the jerseys look great tonight. Joke. Who knew Doug Bryan would be in Greg Zuerlein's body tonight? Danny, super chat. Ref's a joke. Defense a joke. Greg a joke. I'm over this team. It's year after year. Same garbage. Minus 09 through 12. Season's over. No, minus 09 and 10. 11, they were 8-5. Blew it. Finished 8-8. 12, they were 6-10. They had a 2-year Roman Rex. Felix says, Greg needs to be cut. Bring in a new kicker. Yeah, by the way, I didn't want to say this over the summer because I really wanted to be positive. I didn't want to be that guy. But when I saw the Jets were basically letting Austin Seibert audition on their team for other teams, the thought as a sick and deranged Jet fan was somehow Zuerlein's going to suck this year and watch Seibert's going to end up being amazing. And I don't know if anyone's paid attention, but go look at Austin Seibert for the Commanders and how he's doing. It's amazing, man. Ryan R. I don't want to hear it's Greg's fault. The whole team did not show up. It is his fault. It's not just one play, but I'm sorry, Ryan. I need an NFL kicker who's paid well to hit a 32-yard kick. It's not just one person. But you know what? He's got to do his job. And if they cut him, I'm not going to be that upset. They need a new kicker. They have a real kicking problem now. This goes back to the preseason. You know, you want to be patient and give Greg Zuerlein the benefit of the doubt because he has been excellent for the last 2 years. But people have said this, and it's true. Kickers are a lot like relief pitchers. You know, Harrison Butker and Justin Tucker or Mariano Rivera, they're good every year. It doesn't matter. But a lot of these guys are up and down, up and down. Even Nick Folk was bad at the end of his Jets tenure. Jets let him go, and then he's still in the league being amazing. He's got to hit those kicks. It's not just him, but there's a million reasons why they lost tonight. But I'm sorry, man. You leave 6 points on the board, it changes everything. And like, that's what kills me, right? The whole premise of this season was this team was good enough that if the quarterback played well, they're going to win because they have an elite defense, which wasn't elite tonight. They have an elite special teams, which wasn't elite tonight. Like, I mean, the quarterback played well tonight, and they still lost. That kills you. Felix says, we're still undisciplined. This freaking sucks. I'm so frustrated I can't anymore. Get ready for Sunday night in Pittsburgh. I'm sure that's going to be a spectacle. If you want to commiserate with me watching it, we're doing a watch party at T-Square that night. It's either going to be a Jet funeral, the season's still alive at 3-4 going to New England. Oh, God. I'm going to need to be heavily lubricated with alcohol watching this next week because I can't do it, man. It's just... This game nearly broke me. Seriously. Pound for pound, Tyron Smith, horrible. Let me say this about Ashton Davis. He made a nice play in the second half. That first half was an abomination. He was more of a liability on that field tonight than Ryan Gosling was in Remember the Titans. He was that bad. He sucked. And I'm an Ashton Davis fan, but he got overexposed tonight. He had a bad game. Bad game. And up until that one play Quinnen Williams made on Josh Allen, where was Quinnen tonight? Am I allowed to criticize 95, or do I got to hear about how he's always being double-teamed? I don't know. Dexter Lawrence gets double-teamed too. He's got 6.5 sacks. Can I get Quinnen Williams to make a big play? Am I asking for too much? Am I asking for too much for Sauce Gardner to make a big play? Well, Jake, he wasn't targeted. True, but like in these games, you need your best players to be your best players. Someone has to step up and make a play, and they just couldn't do it, man. It's so frustrating. And I'm not trying to kill the defense, or it's just like it's everyone, man. They lost because of more Zuerlein and Tyron Smith, but I mean, this defense in the first half was abysmal. And yeah, they settled down, they made adjustments like they do, but it's like, come on. And still, they win this game if Greg Zuerlein can hit 2 kicks. I'm convinced of it. Oh, but Jake, it's windy. Oh, I can't. Ryan, would have been the first time in history every team in the Tri-State won. Leave it to the Jets. Is that true? It is true. Devils won. Rangers won. Islanders won. Yankees won. Mets won, and the fucking Jets can't win. Amazing. Great stat. God, I hate everyone. Oh, I hate this team so much. I really do. I love this fan base. I hate this team. I hate them. 25. Rodgers needs to be better in the clutch. Absolutely unacceptable interception in clutch time. Don't give me Mike slipped. He had better options in that play. He slipped. What do you mean don't give me Mike slipped? Did you watch the play? He fell down. If we're blaming Aaron Rodgers tonight, I don't know what to tell you, man. I can't. Apple Watch has gone off for a regular. I can't do it. I'm not doing it. I'm not yelling at you. Next. Thank you. I can't. We should have won this game, Jake. Tyron, Mike Williams, Kinlaw, Greg ruined us. I'm so tired. Why can't we have one season, 7 wins tops? Maybe. I could see this team going like 9-8 and missing the playoffs because it would be the most excruciatingly painful way to do it. You know? The Jets would be doing us a favor if they were out of it and they end up with 7 wins. This is going to end up being 9-8 and they miss the playoffs and we lament a game like tonight, the Denver game, the Viking game. That's what's going to happen here. Come up with the most painful way possible for this team to continue the longest playoff drought in the NFL. That's probably what happens. Watch. They'll win a couple games here. They'll suck us back in and then kick us in the you-know-what. That's my prediction. You win as a team, you lose as one. Everyone made mistakes regardless of the penalties. Yeah, but you know what? Good teams find a way to win. Sports for life. Interception wasn't on Williams' slip. Rodgers underthrew. I'm sorry. I put it on Williams slipping. Because guess what? Maybe if he doesn't slip, it's incomplete. You live for another play. It's just, God. Dre, give me Rex Ryan. I'm tired of this. Anyone talking about a coach change now, it's not happening this season. Chances are there'll be a new coaching staff here next year. The odds are stacked against Jeff Ulbrich, especially after losing tonight, because I don't see how they can win the AFC East now. But anyone talking about another coach this season, it's not going to happen. It's Ulbrich for the next 11 games. We could pray that they go on a run, but I mean, God. Lane Gretzky, when will the pain stop? I don't know, man. We weren't even asking for a whole lot. We really weren't. Like, this fan base was like, all right, let's be a playoff team. Let's play. Let's get back in and end the drought. No one was saying Super Bowl, yeah, guarantee it. No. 2-4 with this team. Just, this is just nightmares. This is why we needed to clean out the coaching staff in the offseason. Salah's gone, but his staff is still here. Well, honestly, Vincent, this game tonight, I thought Todd Downing did a much better job than any game Hackett's had. You know, this defense has played well. Tonight, they had a brutal first half, and it cost them. And once again, despite that, there's a couple plays here or there. They win. There's 2 kicks. A guy like Greg Zuerlein, dude, he hit a kick last year in a monsoon to beat the Commanders. I was at the game against the Bears 2 years ago in another monsoon. He hit a huge kick. I was at the game against the Giants. He hit a huge kick to beat them in the rain. This guy's kicked in crummy weather before. It's shocking how bad he's been this year. They're a couple plays away from being 5-1 right now. And people are going to say, you're crazy that aren't Jet fans that are watching these games. We see it. They're certainly a better team than 2-4. That's what it kills you, man. They're wasting this talented roster. They really are. Only the Jets could lose on a night Rodgers has one of those signature Hail Mary plays that he's known for. It's like it kills you. Literally, if they demoted Hackett and kept Salah, it's the same game. Nothing changed. Season over. Rebuild number 200 incoming. Here's the thing. I know everyone's going to say the season's over. They win their 3-4. Then they play New England in New England. You're 4-4. Like, obviously they got to do it. But the reason why it's not over is because you are playing 2 AFC teams that are winnable in the next couple of games. You are. When I expect the Jets to win each of them, how could you? But, like, it's not over yet. It's teetering. It's getting late. But it's technically not over yet. And this team's not rebuilding yet. They're not rebuilding. Who are you getting rid of on this team? Okay, Tyron Smith and Mike Williams won't be here next year. I mean, are we going to Joe Douglas, the greatest ever, he has to come back. Are we sure? Can we see this is why I said, can we see how the season plays out? because we all love the Tyron Smith move, myself included. I don't think any of us could have expected him to be washed. He was second-team All-Pro last year. I thought the issue with him would be he was going to get hurt and not play every game. He's played every game and just looks like a shot player. Tyrone, we miss Huff, JJ, Myers tonight. Yeah, look, if Reddick wants to show up tomorrow, we'll take him. Because they had no pass rush at times in this game. And I have no idea what type of shape Reddick's in, if he can help this team, whatever. But if he wants to play, get him in the building and let's go. You got nothing to lose. But the idea that the Jets are going to extend Reddick, please. I don't care who his agent is. Matt B, been a fan since 99. Can't do it much longer. Talk me off a cliff. This team isn't worth these fans. The only thing I can tell you is if they ever do win, man, it will all be worth it. It'll be that. It will be more. It will be the sweetest of championships you'll ever experience. Any fan base will ever experience. Philip, heartbroken, hate being a fan, but I'll stay. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna be locked in next week. Hey, come commiserate with all of us. We'll be at the watch party at T-Squared next week. Man, it's brutal, dude. Hey, reminder, this show's now available in podcast form, Apple and Spotify, if you want the YouTube show in audio form. Once again, I want to thank the audience. You guys are amazing. We hit over 39,000 subscribers this week. You guys all deserve better. Everyone. But you guys are the best. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. And please subscribe if you haven't already. Oh, man. I think we have a post-game viewership record. 2,500 in here right now. The day Salah got fired, we had over 4,000. That was a live stream record. So I think we're at a post-game record right now. So thanks to the audience, even though we're all disgusted. Eric, should have kept Panera last year. All right, I'm not going to do stupidness like this. Greg Zuerlein, the last 2 years, has been one of the best kickers in the NFL. He now all of a sudden sucks. Eddie Panera has not been a Jet in 3 seasons. Goodbye.
Into the shadow realm you go.
They haven't won anything in 100 years. Salah's defense, the 2 years that he's been here with the Jets, they haven't done anything. The Jets have spent all summer telling us how great they're going to be. The Jets are going to make me hate them.
I hate him, Chris, so you're fine. Omari, where's the link to call and it's pinned? Listen, we all have a mental illness, but while we could take pharmaceuticals, I'd prefer an O-line of any kind. I would prefer Tyron Smith to not hold on a play where he didn't need to do anything and they score a touchdown. Castaway Jets, Zach Wilson 3-3, A-Rod 2-4. And this just shows you how it's a team game. Because last year, Greg Zuerlein hits those kicks, and that's why Zach Wilson was 3-3. That's the difference. Literally, that's the difference. Like, it's not rocket science. Aaron Rodgers has more touchdown passes this year than Zach Wilson had all last year already. Yet the team is a game worse. It's amazing. Tonight, the Jets had a 100-yard rusher, 2 100-yard receivers, a quarterback who almost threw for 300 yards and had a 99 quarterback rating, and they lost. It is hard to fathom the pain of rooting for this franchise. TH3, literally fighting the urge to cry and vomit. I mean, I didn't scream nearly as much as I normally do watching these games. I was just like numb. I was just like, hey, you got to be kidding me. It's just like, this nightmare never ends. It never ends. Indomitable. They'll beat the Steelers and pull us back in. Probably. I'm predicting 9-8 and miss the playoffs because that would be the most painful way to do it. I'm telling you. It'd be too easy for this team just to go 4-13. That'd be the easy way out. They're going to make it more painful for us. I'm telling you. 9-8 and miss the playoffs, so it's going to sting even more. Watch. Jesse P. Worst football game I've ever seen. They're undisciplined. They need to get rid of some players. Smith and Mike Williams, to name a few. Get Adams here. I'll take Devontae. I don't know if that's going to fix everything. This team will still find magical ways to lose. You know, it's funny. I saw a great tweet. I bookmarked it. I wanted to read it. From our guy, Nick Faria. Massive battle going on right now. The magic of Aaron Rodgers competing with whatever deal the Jets have with the devil. And they're trying to get an edge on each other. And the Devils won the last 3. I mean, I am just so disgusted, man. They score one touchdown on the red zone, they win tonight. They kick 2 field goals, they win tonight. Like, it's just like they're right there. Abu Dhabi Jet fan. What time is it in Abu Dhabi? God bless. This D has gotten too comfortable starting slow and adjusting at the half. Yeah, and I do wonder if maybe it was a little too much for Ulbrich in that first half, right? Trying to coordinate the defense and be the head coach. And I don't know, 1 game sample size. It wasn't good enough in the first half. The defense sucked in the first half. They should have been down 20-10. If it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers, they would have been. They still lost this game. Tony, Clemens needs to be cut. Amen. Kyle Smith, I know it's not all on him, but Greg needs to be sent packing, and Morgan and Smith need to show up. They're costing us every game. Yeah, I mean, Morgan Moses, I didn't think was good tonight. He's clearly not 100%. Tyron Smith was brutal tonight. It wasn't just the hold. Pass protection left a lot to be desired. He also missed a brutal block on a play where if he hits Rapp, I didn't mention this earlier. I should have. I just thought of this. If he, I think it was Taylor Rapp. If he blocks Rapp, Brees is still running. He maybe scores. And Brees is not getting a pass either. He had one guy to beat on that long run, on that 41-yard run. He beats him. It's a touchdown. Like, it's just like, I don't want to kill him. He had a great game, but it's like, these are the things why you're losing. It's like these one play here or there. It's like everyone could make that one play and they're winning. They're in first place tonight. We're partying. It's a banner New York sports day. Literally, every team in this city, every team, all 3 hockey teams, the baseball teams, who are each 3 wins away from a Subway Series right now, they all won, except the Jets, because of course. Verlin, Hall got to score a touch. Yeah, exactly. Yep, this is the play I was talking about. Completely agree. Yep, just brutal. This team's exhausting the roof for. It never ends. We waited so long for this season with this quarterback, and while he maybe is not the MVP quarterback of the past, he's still very good. He was very good tonight, and they lost. Ryan, I'm stuck going to the Pittsburgh game. I pray we could pull it off. Tonight hurts beyond words. I hate these reps tonight. Just terrible. Brutal. Kevin, I hate football. It hates me back. Michael, good chance we see a New York championship from a baseball program, but I'm just numb with this team. And WTF with Zerline laughing. That annoyed me. You know, Thomas Morstead's telling jokes to him now. It's so funny that we're losing our season before our eyes. Everything about this game tonight, I hate. I really do. I hate that fat bastard Deion Dawkins. Oh, he is such a scoundrel. I hate everyone. I really do. I hate the Bills. I hate 99% of their fans. They're the worst. Trust me, I will never go back to Buffalo for a Jet Bills game. Ever. Ever. Worst experience ever in 2016. I'll never go back. I will always root against the Bills. And they just blew this game, man. They had this team dead. And they couldn't punch it in. Literally. And then the one time they did punch it in, holding. Whoosh. Let me go get my yellow flag. They threw so many of them. The wind actually blew it here to Manhattan from East Rutherford. What a joke. Vladdy P. Damn, man. Growing up fan of Rodgers. This just hurts. He was my favorite non-Jets player. Another 5 years of ass and no playoffs. This hurts so much. Yeah, it's brutal, dude. It's brutal. He played well tonight, and they still can't win. It's like mind-boggling. Hey, Jake, you could shadow roll me after this comment, but I feel like the Jets enjoy losing. They never want to win. Why do they enjoy losing so much? It doesn't make sense. I mean, at times it does feel like this is all just like a sick joke. Doug, when the Browns made the playoffs in 2020 for the first time in 17 years, I thought, wow, that's so goddamn long. I think we might match or pass that. Well, if they don't make it this year, we're up to 15. So we're getting close. Mr. Godair, Jake, thank you for talking your fan base away from the ledge. I don't think I'm doing a good job of that. I am just as mad as everyone out there. If you were on the ledge, you might have jumped right now. I appreciate the super chat, but I don't think I'm talking anyone off the ledge tonight. I am just as angry as anyone. Really. I'm numb, but I'm also angry. Like, it's still coming out of me. How do you lose this game? God, you should not have lost this game. Oh, I hate the Bills. I hate them. I hate the Jets more, though. That's the problem. See, if the Jets were a relationship, you'd get rid of it. You wouldn't deal with this. You would have broke up with this years ago. Years ago. Yet rooting for this team, it's a sickness. None of us leave. We're going to be back next week. Same time, same place. See you next week. I'm doing a watch party for the Steelers game. Jake, do you think Reed will miss a lot of time? I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know what the injury was. I know they said groin, but I don't know the severity of it. Here for the memes. Lost the game when Rodgers nailed a Hail Mary. Joy. I'm telling you, man, that was my first thought. It's like, wow, you have to win this game now. You got a gift from literally Aaron Rodgers to make this 20-17 at halftime. You should have been up 24-20, and it got ripped away, holding Tyron Smith, and then 3 clanks by Greg Zuerlein. Those are the plays in my mind that will define this game. There were other plays too. Garrett's got to catch a touchdown. Brees has got to beat one man and score. Mike Williams can't slip at the end. 11 penalties, including the we could go through all of them, but it's like those are the plays that define the game in my mind. That's what stands out to me as I'm like thinking about it. Tim, Mike ran the wrong route. Rodgers said it. Yeah, I'm going to believe Rodgers. I'm sorry. Rodgers balled tonight. And he showed some toughness, too. He took some big hits and got right up. He's clearly not at 100%. This guy's got nothing to prove. He's taking a beating and still going out there and giving this team everything, and they can't win. It's amazing. They cannot win. Yeah, it's like Peyton Manning goes to Denver. They win immediately. Yeah, they win 12 games his first year. They started 2-3, then they went on a run. Brady goes to Tampa. They're 5-5. They win the Super Bowl. Like, if Aaron's going to have that moment, it's got to start next week at 2-4. Jersey Jet. Brees got to break that one-on-one. Yeah, I agree. Look, it's tough to kill Brees Hall. He had his best game of the season tonight. You got to break that tackle and get in the end zone. You do. If we want to talk about Brees Hall like Christian McCaffrey or Derrick Henry, like the best running backs in the league, you got to break that tackle and score. That's the standard we hold these guys to now. He's in his 3rd year. Got to break that tackle. John, what the freak did we do in our past life? I ask myself that every day. Ray says, Jets D-line was dominated, pushed all over the field. Kinlaw, no good. Should have gave Quentin Richardson his money. You mean Quentin Jefferson his money and kept JFM. That's on JD. Look, JD deserves a ton of criticism for the D-line depth here. I've said it. I mean, the run defense tonight, especially in the first half, just an abomination. And then the last play, nothing is more fitting than Michael Clemens failing to set the edge and allowing Josh Allen to fucking, excuse my language, I'm so pissed, just pulverize him at the end there. You knew it. Like, I said it, and I'm sure many of you did too. You knew the ball was not leaving Allen's hands there. It was always going to be a quarterback keeper. They were not letting anyone else touch it on that play besides Josh Allen. Everyone in that stadium knew besides Michael Clemens. Gap containment. Gap integrity. Why is he on the field? Eric Watts could set the edge there. I mean, the Jets even got the call where they called the nonsense on Dawkins, and they still lost. We should have been able to dance on that guy's grave tonight, and we can't. Oh, it's brutal. Ryan says the interception doesn't happen if Greg does his job, period. The petty refs were the refs were horrendous tonight on both sides. I mean, this game was unwatchable. You couldn't even enjoy the few good plays the Jets made tonight because you were just waiting for a flag to be thrown. It was the biggest tease. Dante, all we Jet fans wanted was competent playoff-bound team. Is that too much to ask for? Apparently it is. Sauce says, I'd rather pay a competent coach to teach young talent instead of paying millions to vets who are way beyond their primes. Ultimately, that's what happened tonight. Tyron Zuerlein can't. Look, the bottom line with Zuerlein is this. I don't know if it's anyone's fault other than it's just shit Jet luck. Seriously. Greg Zuerlein has been amazing the last 2 years. Now he sucks. Because, of course. Like, you can't blame Joe Douglas for Greg Zuerlein. You can't blame Jeff Ulrich for Greg Zuerlein. You can't blame anyone for Greg Zuerlein besides Greg Zuerlein. Like, this guy didn't miss a kick for 2 years. Amazing. Aaron, NBA season can't come soon enough. Get out of here. Go Celtics. Kona, listen to the Rodgers presser. Mike Williams ran wrong route. Players aren't executing. Yeah, I mean, You want the positive spin this week is going to be they're this close to being 5-1. No one wants to hear it. Go win and beat Pittsburgh. We'll talk. That's it. Show me. Go beat the Steelers. I'm sure he ran the wrong route because Aaron Rodgers balled tonight. Ryan says, isn't it amazing that our front office is playing games with the Raiders and refusing to give a second-round pick while watching us lose week after week? Where's the urgency? Do they want to win? Ryan, they fired their coach 5 games into the year. They want to win. You're also not going to give the Raiders an arm and a leg because that's just not how business is done in the NFL. Now, would I still get Devontae Adams? I would. I would. But come on. Dark Knight Steve says, at least we're not the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, but you know what? The Cleveland Browns, Dark Knight Steve, have won a playoff game the last couple of years. They've been in the playoffs. This team hasn't made the playoffs in 15 years. Yeah, I mean, the Jets aren't stuck with Deshaun Watson's contract. You're right. But it's just, even the Browns have been more successful than the Jets. The Lions went from the biggest jokes of the league to now they're blowing out the Dallas Cowboys and running trick plays with offensive linemen, hooking ladders. The Lions. The Lions have been bad my entire life until the last 2 years. And the Jets still can't figure it out. C, Todd Downing, 10 times better play caller tonight. I don't care. No excuse for a loss, mistakes, and missed opportunities. Yet Downing, I thought, was pretty good. I'm not asking him to be Kyle Shanahan, but he was pretty good. The problem was that opening drive, and this is where I will get on Brees, too. I don't think I mentioned this play yet. 3rd and 4, opening drive. He dropped a pass that would have been good for a first down. They maybe scored a touchdown at the end of that drive. It's like it's little things here or there that have killed these drives. Penalties, a drop. It is minute what has hurt this team. The record says they're a bad team. The talent is way better than 2-4, and that is why it's so frustrating. And yeah, there's still time for them to turn it around, but why would we believe that's going to happen? Cheese man, at least we have each other. Best fan base in sports, hands down. It is the best fan base in sports. That's what sucks about losing these type of games. I mean, it's just, God, man. It's disgusting. A1 Saucy. Feel like Rodgers won't make it through the season. Not if he keeps taking these hits. You know, he only got sacked tonight 3 times, but he took some other brutal hits on some plays. He played really well tonight. Like last week, you want to get on Rodgers. He threw the 3 turnovers, fine. I'm not. This is not about Aaron Rodgers tonight. He played his ass off. They failed him. There isn't much more to say, but we're thankful to have you here, Jake. Misery loves company. This doesn't make it better, but this is therapeutic. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate it. It's therapeutic for me, too. We're going to get to your calls coming up here. We got 2,300 people staying up late watching, so thank you all for being part of the show. Click that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Michael writes in, Jake, gut-wrenching loss. When will it be our time to shine? Fans in 76. It should have been this year, Michael. I don't know. I don't know. I thought this team was good enough to win the division. I still think they're talent-wise are good enough to win the division. That's the best team in the division they played tonight, and they should have beat them. It's just, man, like the Bills were just as undisciplined tonight. They just were able to hit a couple field goals. Literally, Joe Buck and Aikman said it on the broadcast. It's going to come down to which team can hit a kick. It wasn't the Jets. Mr. Downtown, this was actually a well-coached game. Yeah, I mean, look, obviously there's some things you can nitpick, but like tonight's loss is not on Jeff Ulbrich. Players got to play, man. Blame the players. Greg Zuerlein, hit your kicks. Tyron Smith was a second-team All-Pro last year. I don't think anyone expected him to be this shot. Mike Williams has been a 1,000-yard receiver. How many years in his career? He can't be running the wrong route, as we've learned from Rodgers on that play there. Brees, you want to be paid like a top running back. Make a guy miss and get in the end zone. Don't have a brutal drop on 3rd and 4 on the opening drive. Garrett, love you. Catch the ball. I know you took a big hit. Catch the ball. I know Garrett owned it after the game. I saw the quote. It's like these are the plays. It is this small, the margin for error this team has. And they never make the plays that you need to make to win. Max, long season, I'm going to pull an old Rodgers quote here and say relax. The offense plays like that consistently here on out. You're going to win a lot more than you lose. All right, but you're playing the Steelers defense next week and TJ Watt. Is Rodgers making it through the game next week? They better block. Like, we could say, oh, the offense is going to play well again next week. Is it? I don't know. Watch, the defense will play great next week, and this game will be 13-10 in the fourth quarter, and it's going to be agonizing. Like, that's how it feels this season's going to be. One unit will play great one game, and then the other will suck. It's going to be, what's the ride at the playground? It's going to be a seesaw thing, up and down, up. Like, it's never going to be balanced. And that's why they got problems. And the special teams used to be a strength for this team, which is how they've been able to actually win 7 games with shit quarterback play, the likes of which no other team has dealt with besides us the last 2 years. And now we can't even rely on that because we don't have a kicker. Rock and rant. Another miserable night as a Jet fan. Tonight it's Greg and Clemens' turn to gut punch us. But for 25 years, the common link is Woody. Sell the team, blow it up from the very top down. Look, I'm not going to try and sit here and tell you Woody Johnson is some great owner. But it's a waste of time when we say sell the team. You can't fire the owners. Here's what I'll say about Woody. I'm a diehard Knicks fan. I don't think James Dolan magically became a better owner. I think he finally had the right people in charge running his franchise, and you got some breaks along the way. The Knicks thought Jalen Brunson would be good. They didn't think he'd be a top 5 player in the NBA now. You need to sometimes get lucky. You need to get some breaks. We as Jet fans never get any breaks. And you got to have the right people in charge. I think Douglas is a competent GM. I think this fan base overrates him. And obviously the head coach was not good enough, which is why he's unemployed right now. And they have an interim head coach. That's what's missing here. Like, James Dolan didn't figure out how to become a better owner. He hired Leon Rose, and they had Tom Thibodeau, and they built the team. Woody Johnson's had success as the owner of this team. It's been a while, but he's had success. You got to get the right people in charge. It's all about the people and the players when it comes to sports. That's it. Dante writes in, we have to keep the faith. It's not over, but this was a terrible loss. This hurts. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm keeping the faith. I'm going to be locked in watching the Steelers game next week. They win, they have a chance. But, I mean, this is bad. 2-4 with this team, this quarterback. Wow. Even for Jet standards, this is shaping up to be one of the more painful seasons ever. And last year was right there with any of them because we were robbed of it. And I think it hurts even more because it was like everything we thought about this team, how they were a quarterback away. Now you have the quarterback, and outside of really the Vikings game, it's like he's played well enough to win you these games. You're still losing. Benny says, I'm absolutely done with Clemens. He's terrible. If you're defending Michael Clemens today, get out. Dan writes in, Williams ran the wrong route. Rodgers adjusted the throw to give Mike a chance, and he slipped and was incredible interception, not on Rodgers. Mike Williams for DA. If the Raiders want Mike Williams, you can have him. Scott writes in, Jake, thanks for being there for us. I hope the Jets players are upset as the fans. They never look as frustrated on the sidelines as we do here. Now they're laughing. It's all good, man. It's early. Thomas Morstead's cracking jokes to Greg Zuerlein, so his feelings aren't all sad on the sideline. Give me a break. Willie writes in, Brees and Garrett both go for 100 yards. We still lose, Jake. How? D-line is soft. Greg no longer Legatron. Tackles are washed. The only answer I could give you is Jets. That's it. Dre Day. J.J. Watt's going to kill AR next week. J.J. Watt's coming out of retirement. BX Farrell, Super Chat. Thank you. Henny writes in, so many points left off the board. Oh, the pain. Oh, by the way, Beningos must listen tomorrow. He'll join us at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Joe B in his weekly spot tomorrow at 10 a.m. after this debacle. Get ready. All right, let's talk about our 2 amazing sponsors here. Then we'll get to some of your calls and more of the Super Chats. Let me give a huge shout out to my guy, Joe DeVizio, and his team. If you're thinking about selling your home, let's make it real easy for you. Sellwithjoe.com right now. If you're in the tri-state area, Joe is your guy. His team are the best at what they do. 959, call Joe. Joe's a diehard Jet fan, season ticket holder, probably was at the game tonight. So if you want to support a Jet fan-owned business, Joe is your guy. Whether you're thinking about selling your home or you're dealing with a bad tenant, squatters, if your house needs repairs, they do a bunch of different awesome services. But once again, the website has all the information. So check it out. In my description box, you'll find more info, or as you see up there on the screen, you have the website and the number. 959-CALL-JOE or sellwithjoe.com. Let's also shout out Custom Bourbon Tours. I certainly need some bourbon. I was drinking some bourbon earlier watching this debacle that was the Jet game. If you're thinking about an awesome trip with your family, with your friends, CustomBourbonTours.com is the place for you. They'll help you set up in an unbelievable experience on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. They'll let you pick your own distilleries you want to visit, the vehicle you want to travel in. They have flexible zero-interest payment plans, and you can set up your private group outing in less than 5 minutes online. CustomBourbonTours.com. Check it out. Liam, the founder of the company, you guessed it, diehard fan of the Jets as well. So we got 2 awesome post-game sponsors. Support each of them. They certainly could use the support after this debacle tonight. Once again, CustomBourbonTours.com for all the information, also in the description box. Gixer, I'm so effing upset I could cry. Our offense played. Like, once again, the offense played well between the 20s. And then you get in the red zone, and they can't score. And you know what really hurts this offense? They don't have enough explosive players. Conklin's not a yak guy. He'll catch the ball when it hits him in the hands. You know, Garrett is more of a possession wide receiver. They don't really use him where they're taking shots downfield with him. Brees gave you an explosive moment tonight, but he didn't win the one-on-one. Like, that's why they still could use Devontae Adams. Like, the Jets don't have any, like, 4-play drives that end in, like, a 50-yard touchdown. Like, you watch the Bengals, they throw it up to Jamar Chase. You know, when you watch the Texans, they got Diggs or they got Nico Collins. The Chiefs, obviously, it's a different animal with Mahomes and what he does. But, like, these teams have, like, guys, they throw it up and they can have a 3 or 4-play drive. Everything with the Jets, it's so hard, even when Aaron's playing well like tonight, because everything's got to be so good around him because they're not scoring quick enough. It's hard. That's why they still could use another weapon like Devontae Adams. I'm watching the highlight on SportsCenter. That catch Garrett made was sick. And, of course, these asshole refs, one of them called it incomplete because they're blind. Thank God the replay was able to look at that one. Oh, the officiating tonight. They could all go to hell. They sucked. They were the worst. Eric writes in, will Adams want to even come to a 2-4 team with everyone on the hot seat? I think he wants to play with Aaron Rodgers. He knows he might have only 1 year playing with him. I think he would still want to be a Jet. We'll see if they trade him. I don't think the Raiders are in any rush right now. Trade deadline is not till November 5th, so they got some time. And I don't know if the Jets are going to be desperate to now get Adams at 2-4. We could say maybe they should, but I don't know if they are. Danny says, New York Liberty has a better chance of winning a championship than us. Well, yeah, they're in the finals right now. This is not the zing you think it is. They're literally in the WNBA finals right now. The series is tied at a game apiece. This comment is so stupid. Hold on. I know exactly what to do after reading this now. What, are you trying to take a shot at the Liberty? They're probably the most successful team in this town right now, moron.
F you. F you. F you too.
F you, Michael Clemens, by the way. You suck. But Danny, we'll see you later, man. You're a moron. All right. If the Jets had Stewart and UNESCO on their team tonight, maybe they win. We could use Liberty players. Maybe one of them could block better than Tyron Smith. Jacob Grossman says, if you still have confidence and like Payne, placed a large wager on the Jets' new FanDuel win-loss at 7.5. It's embarrassing we're back at 7.5. You are a degenerate, sir. You placed a win total bet on the Jets at set. Wow. I love it. By the way, I need this team to win 9.5 games or more. I have the over. Daniel says, refs killed what momentum we have with terrible flags. We need to look into the kicker market ASAP. I mean, slim pickings out there, man. We had a good kicker. We let him go, and now he's leading the Commanders to glory. Tim, Rodgers also said we should have scored in the 30s. He's right. You went 1 of 4 in the red zone. Like if you want to spin it positively, which I don't want to. I know what the Jets are going to say this week. It's like we shot ourselves in the foot. We're right there. It's a play here. And they're not wrong, but why is it going to change all of a sudden? Dana writes in, even Devontae, either Devontae's a Jet by Tuesday or Joe/Woody gave up on the season. Maybe. Weege writes in, froze my ass off at MetLife and warm-ups. Greg missed a ton of kicks and said to my dad, well, that's a bad sign for tonight. He should be gone tomorrow. See, here's the thing. I don't know who's available that they can bring in. They should definitely have kicker tryouts this week. It just sucks, man. Greg Zuerlein was so good for 2 years. And now that we finally have the quarterback, of course, now he sucks. Like, seriously, I know the Denver kick was in the rain, too. But it's like, if he hits that, you have another win right now. I'm sorry, man. Everything's magnified when you just give away points. He's got a job to do. He hasn't done his job. Eric says, refs are killing this game. Tired of always looking for flags after every other play. This game was unwatchable. And I was getting texts from non-Jet fans that were like, this game is brutal. Like, every play, you were waiting to see if there was going to be a flag thrown. And chances are there were. The Bills and Jets each had 11 penalties. We're talking about over 200 yards of penalties alone. Daryl, the lack of mental toughness and discipline, it literally hurts being a fan of the team and being angry all the time. Every year this bleep happens. Eric, it's Favre and Rodgers can't save the team who can. Well, Favre was 8-3 because that team had a better coach. Mangini wasn't great, but he took a team to the playoffs in 2006. That team was 8-3. The only reason why they missed the playoffs that year is because Favre got hurt. He had the bicep injury. Funky Monk, culture of this team is rotten. Lucky to see 8 next year. And look, I think any talk about next year right now, it's like, who knows? Ryan says, I can't do another rebuild. I can't do it. I mean, I don't think they're rebuilding necessarily, but obviously they're going to look different next year if they don't make the playoffs. It's going to be a different coach, a lot of new players because you got a lot of guys who are on one-year deals. C writes in, maybe stop giving Tyron Smith veteran rest days. Yeah, maybe he needs to practice a little more, right? Maybe they're too cautious with him, and that's why he's playing poor. I don't know. Maybe instead of having a veteran rest day, Wednesdays and Thursdays, maybe he practices one of those days. I don't know. Rick says, leader of the team cannot throw teammates under the bus. I don't know who this is in reference to, but if you dare insinuate it's Aaron Rodgers, you're gone. Because that's not what happened here. John writes in, why the F is Brees wearing a Cleveland Indians hat postgame? Drop pass, only had to be one guy. This team finds new ways to hurt me every week. All right, I'm all for getting on Brees a little bit, but I'm not going to kill him for wearing an Indians hat. I don't care. Now, would I prefer he's wearing a Yankees hat? I would. Maybe Brees, you should try and model your game or your philosophy around a team that's actually won something. Jay, I'm so glad Curly watched like we did. Shake my head. Well, Mike Williams is hurt, and they don't trade for Devontae. You're going to see Curly this week. Sean says, did ESPN add that clang sound effect to troll us? No, I think that was just Greg Zuerlein clanging the post. I mean, he missed from 43, and what, he missed from 32? Oh, my God. I'm watching this replay of the Rodgers throw on 3rd and 16. Mike Williams, if he doesn't slip, maybe he doesn't catch it, but it's incomplete. You live for another drive. Brutal. Slick Road. 2 shots of tequila per quarter. I'm sad and lit. That's one way to cope. Sean writes in, A-Rod won't last the season taking this many hits. It's not sustainable. Agreed. I mean, his all-pro left tackle, all of a sudden, I guess, put on the number 77 and started playing like big fatty Mekhi Becton. I don't know. Bang Mateo. We beat 2 rookie head coaches and lost to the rest. What do you want me to say, Bang? They're 2-4. I don't know what to tell you. Brock Bauer was there on a silver platter, but no. You really think the Jets win tonight if they had Brock Bowers? I can't. Goodbye. No, thank you. Manchester Jet. I feel like I've been staying up till 4 a.m. watching the same game for 20 years. How do we constantly find a way to lose these games? Manchester Jet, God bless you and everyone I met in London last week. I had to stay up till the middle of the night to watch this shit show. Unreal. All right, let's get to some calls here. I know we did a lot of super chats at the beginning, but you guys are great supporting the show. I appreciate it. Let's get to it. First up on the Gusbuster Hotline, John in Connecticut. Start us off. What's up, John?
Hey, Jake. Yeah, I mean, you hit a lot of the points. There's obviously so much to be said. I mean, this one especially, I would say, was excruciating because it felt like we were in control for like most of that second half. Allen didn't really have to do much tonight.
And they kept shooting themselves in the foot. They jumped off sides. They had personal foul penalties called on them. They had some holds every time they did. Like they were awful in the second half. They beat themselves, and the Jets still were like, we're good. Hey, you guys can win. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. And like as excruciating as it is, like it doesn't help. Like anyone that like has two brain cells can put together that Aaron Rodgers is the last issue on this team. I mean, the guy's playing on one leg. And like the thing is with like the penalties tonight, obviously the officiating was horrible. It was the NFL should be embarrassed at the product they put out on primetime. But like the penalties, I'd be more up in arms about it if the Jets weren't committing double-digit penalties every single week. Like it was crazier tonight because like it was on both sides of the sidelines, but like obviously this is just a reoccurring thing with this team. And like you were saying earlier, I was gonna bring this up myself, but like, yeah, Josh McCown, a team in 2017 where it was like a tank for Darnold year, was 3-3, and that is where it just like defies logic this season how this team can be where they are. And so like as far as Downing goes, like you said, I thought he called a good game. It's so frustrating that no matter who the offensive coordinator is, no matter who the quarterback is, this isn't an Aaron Rodgers blame. This is just a New York Jets offense complaint generally. Like no matter who it is, they can't punch the ball into the end zone when they're down near the goal line. Like the difference in the game is the fact that when Buffalo got there 3 times, they punched it in 3 times.
Right.
When the Jets got down, like they don't do it. If they in Denver, that was the difference. And so like you said, like it's the difference of like those little things, and it's just it sucks. I mean, how can I really look at like our team right now, and how undisciplined we are, and look at a Mike Tomlin coach team across the sidelines next week and think that he's just not going to run circles around a team that's going to commit 10 penalties, and TJ Watt lining up against Tyron Smith, or he's going to be shuffling around whoever it is. He's going to game wreck. That's what he's going to do. So like
and they're going to run the ball, and they're going to run it again and run it again, and this defense has to stop it. Otherwise, they're going to get gassed again. This is going to be a close game next week. It's like people are going to be like, the Jets are going to blow them out. No, they're not. This is going to be stressful. This is going to be, a painful game. Even if they win, it's not going to be easy. Like the Jets are going up against one of the best coaches in the NFL next week. You're 1,000% right.
Yeah, that's the difference, and it's like. I don't have too much more to add at this point because everything's already been said. But just off that, like, yeah, exactly. Like that's the difference is where like this wasn't the case with Saleh beforehand. Like, and it's still like it was the case with Saleh, and it's still the case now because you fired your coach. But no matter what game we go into, we're at a coaching disadvantage. The only other team I can really think is like in a similar situation, Peterson with the Jaguars come to mind, but like I think he'll be gone at some point soon. It's like Ulbrich, he had a lot on his plate today. Like it's his first go around. Like you can't really kill the guy because there was so much else going on. But it's like we got Tomlin next week, and we have TJ Watt coming out, our 40-year-old quarterback. Like how can anyone just feel good about it? That's just the bottom line takeaway for me tonight. And so I appreciate you sticking around and getting these calls in.
John, good job, man. Way to lead us off. You also look like Brandon Nimmo, by the way. Just a random aside. I don't know if anyone's told you that, or if you're even a Met fan. Look, the Jets are better than the Steelers from a talent standpoint, but they were better than the Bills from a roster standpoint. Like, next week they're going to deal with Tomlin. He's going to have a game plan. They're going to run the ball down the Jets' throat. Look at TJ Watt's going to wreck this game, and it's going to be a problem. It is going to be a problem next week. They might win next week. I wouldn't be shocked if the Jets won because the Jets are, contrary to popular belief by some I'm seeing in the chat, this team is not going to finish with just 2 wins. They will win some games here. Problem is they'll start winning games when it's over at that point. Like if you want any chance of having a season, you got to win on the road next week. It's not going to be easy, but you got to do it. But this team's a disgrace. Losing this game is disgraceful. I mean, it's just everything about this game pisses you off. Everything. Even the stat line of like seeing what Breeze and Garrett did, they should have had more. It's tough. It's tough. Third man, can Brick call timeout when the 12th man can't run out the field? Also, can Lecky Fotu move his ass? You haven't played all year. Instead of jogging to the sideline, get your fat ass on the sideline and hustle. I mean, good God, man. I don't even remember when. If that was the second half, I get why they didn't burn a timeout. But if that was in the first half, yeah, they could have used a timeout there. Now, I'll say this about Brick. Him being aggressive at the end of the first half, using the timeouts, did buy them time for Rodgers to have the Hail Mary. I thought that was good. I'm not going to kill Ulbrich tonight. Just first game. They should have won. It's on the players play, man. Players play. If Ulbrich's kicker hits a kick like he's hit his entire career, especially the last 2 years, they win tonight. And we're celebrating tonight. We're spraying Henny everywhere. It's just, I can't. I can believe it, but I'm still disgusted. I'm still mad that they lost tonight. I can't. BG trick shots. Kinlaw, 3 straight penalties, then walked off the field laughing. First play of the game, they test Sauce tackling. Last play, they test Clemens. Yeah. Look, we know Sauce is not good at tackling. I didn't think it was bad outside that first play. And he, did they throw in Sauce's direction once tonight? So, it's probably going to come out that Sauce had a great game and he graded out great. It's just, I don't know, man. DJ Reed is always being thrown on, but he's making plays. And then, unless you watch the All-22, and Fialco's going to join us tomorrow afternoon, and he'll watch it. I don't think Sauce had a bad game tonight. I just feel like we didn't hear from him. But a lot of times, I'm wearing the Revis jersey. When we didn't hear from Revis, we knew he was shutting people down. But it was more obvious when Revis was doing it because we knew it was man coverage with Rex, and Revis was following whoever the best receiver was. We saw it. And the broadcast would always show it. They would show you the stats. They would show you the one-by-one camera shots of Revis putting a guy on an island. It's different with Sauce because they play zone. He doesn't shadow. It's different. Brendan Ryan, thank you for the super chat. Big fella in the house. We're going on a run. I believe in Ulbrich. Offense looked better. Brees and Garrett finally caught fire. Defense will be fixed now that Ulbrich will hold players accountable for penalties. Clemens and Kinlaw need to sit. You're a better man than me, big fella. We're going on a run. I hope you're right. Win on Sunday and let's go on that run. But it's just games like tonight are disgusting. Why couldn't the run start tonight? Why does he need to start next week? The run should have started tonight. The Bills were giving you this game. Brendan, not for nothing for nothing. That's not English. But maybe Ulbrich needs to give up defensive play calling. Seems like too much is on his plate as DC and head coach. Terrible time management, 12 men on the field and not calling a timeout. Someone tell me when the 12 men on the field was, because I don't remember. It's just, I'm not killing Ulbrich for tonight. I'm not. Players play. Players could have won this game. They didn't lose this game because of the 12 men on the field. They lost this game because Greg Zuerlein missed 2 kicks. One of them was an extra point-worthy kick. And they had a touchdown that was wiped off the board because Tyron Smith, who should know better, even if it was a little ticky-tacky, committed a brutal hold. Curly, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, could be the quarterback, and they are never going to win. And I hate myself for coming back for more. I'm mentally ill. You are, Curly. I knew you were mentally ill because you voluntarily drove V-Man to a game this year. That's when I knew you were mentally ill. You didn't take being a Jet fan for that one. All right, more of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, let's try and get to as many as we can. Daniel's next. Hey, Daniel.
How you doing, Jake? I just have one point. I knew it was going to come back to haunt us, but my fear was we've wasted a great stout defense for 2 years, and now that we have a competent offense, they're getting injured left, right. They're missing assignments. Yeah, we wasted 2 perfectly good years on Zach Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, but the problem is last year you're supposed to have Aaron Rodgers. You had him for 4 plays, and now you have him, And the team around him is not as good as we thought, at least defensively, or the special teams now, which was a huge strength for 2 years. Now all of a sudden they have a kicking problem. It never could go the Jets' way, where we think, they were this player away, and now it's like, well, you're not, because the things you were counting on have not been what they're supposed to be.
Yeah, and every hit Rodgers takes is a percentage point off of him coming back next year, and we have to do it all over again.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Daniel. We'll see. I mean, I know Aaron's talked about playing this year and at least next year, but if this team finishes with 7 wins, they have a new coach coming in, and he's taking a beating, I don't know if it'd be shocking if he says I'm good. I think he's playing next year, but I'm not worrying about that right now. See how the year goes. Joe the Jet is next. Hello, Joe.
Hey, Jake. I'm absolutely just ferociously angry right now. I want to cry. I want to laugh at how much of a joke this team is thus far this season. And I'm not going to lie. This team makes me want to die every time I watch it. It's actually depressing. When someone tells you a Jet joke and the Jets, they suck. I've been a fan for about as long as the playoff drought happened. I seen the Pittsburgh loss in the AFC Championship game, and after that, I have been experiencing nothing but pain, sadness, anger, and misery every single year. And the fact that we are staring a 15th year of no playoffs in the face, I can't take any more of it. I'm going to be back next week because I'm a freaking masochist. All right. And I like to see myself suffer, I guess. We have the freaking quarterback. He almost threw for 300 yards today. He didn't, but unfortunately, he was a couple yards short.
Which is annoying because I'm tired of, he hasn't thrown for 300 yards in X many games. He threw for 281 against New England, 294 tonight. He's right there. They should have won tonight. It's criminal they didn't win, Joe. Yeah. It's criminal.
And if Mike Williams ran the right fucking route, sorry, he probably would have surpassed 300 yards. We probably would have won the game. And the fact, by the way, Greg Zuerlein, get the hell out of here, dude. Are you Cody Parkey or are you Greg the Leg? He was playing like Cody Parker today, hitting freaking, doinks left and right. Come on. I mean, when is it going to end? Is it going to end with a rebuild? Is it going to end with, or am I just stuck like this? Is it going to end when Joe Namath dies? Look, I don't wish any harm on Joe Namath, but there's a curse there. I don't know what it is. There's a curse.
Joe, thank you. I'm not even going to address the Joe Davis stuff. We love Joe. I wish I could have been a Jet fan and saw a Super Bowl. Those of you who did, God bless. Oh, man. When does it end? I don't know, man. I don't know. It feels like a legit curse because, this team played well in a lot of areas tonight between the 20s, and then they get in the red zone. It's nope. And that's why you lose. You don't put teams away. You keep teams around. 2-4, man. This team is so much better than 2-4. It's just disgusting to say the record aloud. Ken from San Diego is next on the postgame show. Hello, Ken.
How's it going? Hey, I'm still a fan. It's been 58 years. So, hey, one of the problems with firing Saleh, which I think we've all talked about it, and he wasn't a great coach, that's why he got fired, is that we wanted to go ahead and it was for discipline. And we wanted to go ahead and have greater discipline. And then you listen to Brick today, who I think these guys are player coaches. And in his press conference, he didn't say what you're saying. So I have a list, and you hit most of these things. But, in the old days, your kicker loses you 2 or 3 games. I don't care what he did prior. He gets cut. Clemens, you had one play. You had to contain route. You had to contain him on the final play of the game. Everybody knew that was going to happen. You didn't contain. You also didn't sack him when he scored that touchdown at the end of the first half. There's 8 teams ahead of us right now, so maybe it's time to play Olu. I don't know what else to say about that. Ashton Davis on the goal line. I was a big Ashton Davis fan. He looked horrible. I don't know what else to say about that. The first play of the game, Sauce Gardner did not contain. I mean, how does he get beat to the outside when he has no coverage there? These are all little mistakes. I'm tired of seeing Quentin Williams being rotated. Other great players play all the time, and we're getting gashed up the middle. Let's play him a little bit more. I'm sorry he's tired, but I don't see, the other top 4 or 5 tackles in the league playing half the plays. And then Kinlaw, there's a reason why the 49ers cut him. Obviously. I mean, I was high on him a bit, but today, 3 penalties, poor discipline. And then, even Morstead, if it is that windy, punt it so the guy has to go ahead and catch the ball. Don't punt it right into the end zone. Yep. So these are all little things, Jake, but we fired Saleh because we have all this talent. And then Brick's not the type of guy. He's not like a Jimmy Johnson or a Bill Belichick coach. He's not going to go ahead and cut all these guys. That's not who he is. He's a player's coach. So that was a problem with getting rid of Saleh. What do you do now? It's the same result, unfortunately, right?
Well, hopefully, some of the stuff you're talking about with more than, a week to get ready, we could see some of that improve, right? I mean, we did see the offense get better tonight for what it's worth.
The play calling was much better. We finally started pitching the ball to Brees to get him to the outside. That's what he tore people apart last year. We were running him up the middle in the beginning. So the play calling did get better, but all these little penalties over and over, like silly penalties. I mean,
and that's not good enough, Ken. And you hope Obrick will clean it up a little bit, right? I mean, like the offense looked better tonight, and then the defense took a step back. Next week you're playing Justin Fields or Russell Wilson. You're not facing an elite quarterback like Josh Allen. So, you hope it gets better, but like the reality is the odds are stacked against Jeff Ulbrich being this team's long-term head coach anyway. It kind of is what it is.
Yeah, it was a very tough game, And the one big difference, you mentioned Revis. I love Sauce Gardner. My kids love him. We have the jersey. Revis came up and tackled, and he tackled hard.
Yep.
And that is the one. No one threw against Sauce today, but they run against him, and it is his weakness. I love Sauce Gardner, but I'm just saying, can't compare him to Revis, at least not yet.
Yeah, look, I'm with you, Ken. I think it's tough because Sauce is very good, but he's not Darrelle Revis. He's not. And, I love Sauce. But, it's funny. I think some people forget just how good Revis was. Every week. Man-to-man, no safety help, ever. Ever. And Sauce outside that first play, I'm sure he probably had a really good game tonight. I can't remember one time he was targeted. But it's just, I don't know, man. Something's missing. Like Patrick Surtain makes plays. He had a pick 6 last week. I don't know. I don't want to kill Sauce. I don't think he had a bad game. I'm just frustrated like everyone else with everything. Sports writes in, can we get a scoop and score picks? Impossible. I mean, there was one play tonight where it's like, can we fall on a fumble? They didn't force any turnovers tonight. That's part of this. Tyrone, should we start Fashanu at left tackle? I mean, I would seriously consider it. That's his natural position. Can he be worse than Tyron Smith? The Tyron Smith thing is wild. I understand he's an older player, but it's not like the Jets signed someone who was coming off a bad year. He was second team All-Pro last year. He was still an elite left tackle. Boogie down, like George Carlin says, garbage in, garbage out. Like Joe Beningo says, and I'll say tomorrow on this show, oh, the pain. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Cheese Man. Hello, Cheese Man.
What's going on, Jake?
Pain, Cheese Man, pain.
Yeah, I hear you there, man. I mean, like you said, what can you really say in a moment like this? I mean, it just seems to be the same thing every single year. I will say this, though. I really don't think we could put this loss on Ulbrich. I mean, aside from the penalties, which were already an issue before he took over anyways, felt like it was a pretty well-coached game for the most part. You know, the one thing that really killed me, though, I mean, on that Breece Hall long run, I mean, a one-on-one play, and I feel like an easy change of direction inside, and that's a touchdown. Like, you just take one step, plant your foot in the ground, and go to the right 2 yards, and you're scoring. And so, you know, seeing things like that, I mean, obviously the penalties were a bit ticky-tacky at times. You know, I remember seeing a hold on Tittman that I was just scratching my head at. But, I mean, you have to win this game. And it's just so discouraging as somebody who I think a caller earlier said that they started watching right before the playoff drought as well. I mean, I was my first year of fandom was the year where we lost to the Steelers in the championship game. And it just, you know, I can totally relate. It seems like the same thing over and over again. But, yeah, I mean, not much else to be said other than what's already been said. Just wanted to check in and say hi to you guys, let you guys know I love this fan base. I mean, if it wasn't for the Asmaniacs and all the other loyal Jet supporters out there, I may have well jumped ship by now, but we're in it for the long haul, baby. We all got something wrong with us. I do want, on a positive note, want to introduce the newest Jets fan. This is my cat, Kitten Cheddar, who I just got a couple days ago. So he's going to be living the misery with us. But other than that, Jake, just wish you well. Take it easy on yourself tonight, and we appreciate all that you do.
Jeez, man. Thanks for the kind words, man. I appreciate it. Look, these losses hurt even more since I've started doing these shows. Because I want this team to be good for the fans, man. You guys are so supportive of what I do, whether it's this YouTube show or when I'm hosting on ESPN New York or if I'm on Sirius on Mad Dog. Like, you guys are amazing. And it's like, you're loyal, you care, and you just never get rewarded the way you should. Beefy wrote, Pittsburgh drafts multiple quality offensive linemen. They win the battle at the line. They're going to beat the Jets. Let's stop with that. All right, Broderick Jones is a huge bust, by the way. Just throwing that out there. Pittsburgh will win next week because they're going to outcoach the Jets. That's why. They got Mike Tomlin. I mean, that's the problem. It's a must-win next week. You know, it kind of felt like it was a must-win tonight for the division, but it's like, to be a playoff team, it's a must-win next week. You go to 2-5. What are we talking about? Jay says, players play. It's the same game every week. Blame Salah for everything. It's the same game. JD sucks. Our D-line and O-line is terrible. All right, couple things here. Robert Salah was not a good coach. So let's not let's not act like we're blaming Salah for everything. Like, no, he was part of the problem. Wasn't the only problem. We all knew that. He was a problem. And I want to say the D-line is terrible. It's not as good as it's been. And that is on Joe Douglas. Fair criticism. And, you know, the O-line, like, Tyron was the problem tonight. The offensive line, though, like, Breece had some holes. Rodgers, for the most part, outside of Tyron Smith, he had time. Like, they beat themselves. Penalties in the red zone killed a drive. You know, they had a drive in the red zone that stalled out when Breece dropped a 3rd and 4. It's a couple things. Like, it was a few plays. They were this close to winning this game. Horrible. Flight crew with a super chat. Season ticket holder here, sitting in the rain, Denver game, sitting in the cold today, done with this team. Greg should get cut. 2 field goals killed us. I don't know. Defense didn't play great, but just annoyed. Yeah, look, season ticket holders, I feel for you guys. I mean, the weather's been brutal. You know, you have one Sunday 1 o'clock game in September and not another one till December now. It's tough. Next home game I'll be at will be the Halloween game. And if they lose that game, that might be the last Jet game I go to this year because I don't know if I can do it. Honestly. Yeah, thank God I was home tonight for this. You know, I had the Yankees on one TV and Jets on the other. Yeah, this is just sickening. They're showing all the Rodgers Hail Marys in his career, and we're going to add the Jet one, and it's time. I can't even enjoy it. They lost. I'll never forget where I was when he threw that Hail Mary Week 13 against the Lions in 2015. It was a Thursday night game. It was insane. We were pre-game before we went out. I was in college. It's disgusting. It wasted it. Wasted it. I mean, it's just, God, how do you lose this game? Only the Jets. It's only the Jets that could lose this game. Quarterback at 100 quarterback rating, nearly threw for 300 yards. You had 2 100-yard wide receivers, a 100-yard running back. You won the time of possession, barely, but you won it. I think you had more total yards than Buffalo. I'll check that right now, and you lost. It's like you just beat yourself. Yeah, Jets had 393 total yards. Buffalo 359. It's just disgusting. Story Lane with a super chat. I'm yawning now, but the show must go on. Went to my first game tonight. It was freezing. Can't believe what I witnessed completely. Let's waste a second rounder. Another Mike Nugent. I don't know, man. Greg Zuerlein felt like he was like Mike Nugent reincarnated. Doug Bryan. What was the guy's name who kicked week 1 against the Bills in Gase's first year and they blew that one? Vevick. It's just brutal. Everything tonight sucked. Mr. Weed is up next on the Gusbuster hotline tonight. Hello, Mr. Weed. Weed? I can't hear you, Weed. But I am enjoying your background of Leany and whoever that is.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you, Weed.
I'm not happy.
Does something happen in your life that's causing anger?
Yeah, the Jets. How the fuck do we lose that game?
Well, repeat what you just said.
How does any of this happen?
I believe you said the Jets, right? That's how.
Jake, I'm done. I'm done calling in. I will not call in again until we win a fucking game because I'm absolutely fucking just disgusted right now. Absolutely fucking disgusted. I can't even smoke weed right now to celebrate. I'm not even happy about this game. It's fucking garbage, dude. I will never root for the fucking Jets again until we win another game.
So
I can't do this shit, dude. I can't.
You'll be at my watch party on Sunday?
I'll still be there.
Of course.
But I won't be happy about it. I'll still be happy. That's true. I'll still be happy. Fuck you, Jake.
Weed, all the love. Incredible. I'll see everyone at T-Squared Social. We're going to have fun either way, I promise. Even though this just sucks. Disgusting. All right, let's get to more of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Bill, who's next. Hey, Bill.
Hey, how about those Yankees and Mets, huh?
Every team in New York sports won today, besides the New York Jets, of course.
Yes. I don't know which is worse, the fact that I haven't seen a championship with the Jets versus my Rangers, Knicks, or Mets, or what. I was 11 years old in '69 when the Mets won, but I wasn't yet a football fan till the early '70s. So I never got to see the '69 Jet team win, except on film. So definitely very frustrating. Not as frustrating as thinking, boy, we've gone through all these coaches, players, and front offices since '69 and haven't seen a championship since that year. So it's been very frustrating. But then again, hey, I'm a fan. I'm in it, thick and thin. That never changes. Whichever team I'm in, I definitely don't go around changing. I would think it's frustrating, too, for Cleveland Browns fans because They didn't win a championship till that team left and went to Baltimore. And then Detroit hasn't won a championship since, what, 57? The NFL championship. So they haven't seen a Super Bowl either. So we can argue that the Lions are doing pretty good now, but to the fans who are my age or in their 40s or 50s, it's like, yeah, but when are we seeing the big one, you know?
Yeah, but you know what?
All the fan bases are going through the same thing. The only thing is there's such bad karma around this team.
Yeah, that's the difference, though, Bill. That's the problem.
With the media and even some of the fans, let's face it. Sometimes you hear their comments. All it takes is one bad game and a player who 2 games ago you were like, oh, the best guy ever. And then all of a sudden 2 games later, God damn, this guy stinks. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's just crazy what's going on with this franchise. And it's just a lot of bad karma. All these crazy bounces that never seem to go our way. I just think there's nothing we can do about it until the football gods decide one time. All right, here, I'll let you guys finally have your moment of glory. But let's just face it, a lot of fan bases are just fickle too. After all, I'm a Mets fan. I can say, oh, we've been to the World Series back in 2015, but then hear the other guy say, yeah, but we haven't won since 86. I'm like, so I don't understand. We complain when we can't get into the playoffs, but when we finally get into the playoffs, now we're mad because we can't get into the big game, or finally get into the big game and we can't win, and then we're all pissed off. I guess it's just part of being a fan. But yeah, you got to see it from our point of view too. We can be very fickle when we should just enjoy those moments when we do get in. Remember those playoffs, even if we don't get into the Super Bowl. Remember the Super Bowl, even if we don't.
Bill. You cannot tell this fan base tonight to enjoy the moments, even if we don't win the Super Bowl. I've had callers call in who don't even remember the last time this team was in the fucking playoffs, man. Don't tell this fan base tonight to remember the playoff. There's been no moments. None. Enjoy the moments. Are you crazy, Bill? I love you. Enjoy the moments. This team has given us no moments. None. I at least have seen 6 playoff wins since the last time the Miami Dolphins won a playoff game. But I'm not going to sit here and try and be like, well, these fans, we can be tough on our players. We want to win, man. This fan base wants to win badly. They show up in the rain. They show up in the cold and support this shitty franchise week after week after week. They have not made the playoffs longer than any team in North American sports. So, Bill, I appreciate the positivity. You can't do it tonight. Not on this postgame show. You got to read the room. This team is too pissed off, or we as fans, I'm saying, are too pissed off to do that. We got to enjoy it. What moments are we enjoying? The Hail Mary from Rodgers, that was awesome. They lost the game. Breece Hall going for over 100 yards, they lost the game. Garrett Wilson going for over 100 yards, they lost the game. Enjoy the moment. There hasn't been any moments. This team hasn't made the playoffs since 2010. Barack Obama was in his first term in office. Enjoy the moments. There's been 0 moments. 0 moments. Even one of the greatest wins this team had last year, Rodgers died 4 plays in. We didn't even get to enjoy the great moment from Xavier Gibson. Enjoy the moments. There's been no moments. That's the problem. Yet this team still has the best fans in sports. Enjoy the moments. There's been no moments. You said you were 11 when the Jets won the Super Bowl, but you weren't even a Jet fan then. So how are you talking about enjoying the moments? Oh, my God. I can't, man. Bill, I love you. We can't do the enjoy the moments. There's been no moments. They have the longest playoff drought in North American sports. Enjoy the moments. C writes in, at this rate, our young core is going to jump ship after their rookie contracts and we'll be back to square one. These guys are all under contract for 2 more years. I'm not worried about anyone jumping ship right now. Let's live in the now. They have played 6 games of 17. We still got a long way to go in this hellhole. All right, we're all going to hell, so I hope you brought your sunblock. More of your calls right now. Texan Jet is next. Hello, Texan Jet.
First off, thank you for taking my call, Jake, and thank you, Joe, the Jet, and the Cheese guy for bringing up really, really bad memories about the Steelers loss back in the AFC Championship. I worked a long time to get rid of that memory. Not good. I named my Timothy's son Jet Angel Rivera, and I'm kind of worried that
Why
I
are
cursed
you
him for the rest of-
shirtless? What are you
Because I took off my jersey, man. I was so pissed off, man. I took off my jersey. I was just trust me, man. I live in Texas. I live in San Antonio. I have a Cowboy fan here watching the game. My only plus was to tell him he got his ass beat, by what, 47 points, 37 points by the fucking Lions. That was my only consolidation. Yeah, we lost, but I mean, we didn't get beat down like that. So look, I'll start with the negatives. First of all, the win was not a factor on those 2 missed fucking field goals. Those flags, they weren't moving. They weren't even moving. If you see the flags on the fucking uprights, they weren't even moving. He just flat out fucking missed them. Period. And yeah, the referees, they sucked, but they sucked on both ends. I mean, there was fucked up calls on both ends. And, I know we have a top ranked defense, but man, we seem to give up crucial yards on crucial downs, crucial points of the games. And it's just like, it fucking kills me. I don't know. And and the line is not good. The line's been a problem for the last 3 seasons, and it's like, man, at this rate, I don't think Rodgers is gonna make it. He's getting banged up game after game after game. Man, he's 40 years old, about to be 41. How long do we expect him to really last with that kind of protection? It's just like there's a reason our running game is non-existent because there's no blocking. There's just like, man. And I know we're, this is Jets fans. I kind of sound like a fucking Cowboy fan, delusional. Oh yeah, but we got this. No, man, it's very obvious. Our problems are very obvious. Yeah, we made a coaching change. Okay, cool, whatever. It is what it is, man. And then yeah, we can blame the refs or this and that. But look, man, at the end of the day, we had a chance to win. We should have won this fucking game, just like we should have won the last game. But still, it is what it is. On the plus side, our offense did look better, right? And then the Bills, they have the 49ers, the Lions, the Chiefs, the Dolphins. There's a good chance Tua will be back in 2 weeks when they play the Dolphins. The Bills play the Dolphins, and the Rams are they're not an easy win. So there's a good chance, man. They have a tougher schedule than we do. So there's a good chance that we may still be in contention for the division when it's all said and done, assuming we get our shit together. But anyways, go on.
Yeah. No, thank you, Texan Jet. I just the shirtless thing was too much to overcome during that call. Not bad points though, all things considered. Look, you can find the positives you want. But you got to win. You got to win games. You cannot lose 3 games in a row. Like, good teams don't lose that many games in a row. They don't. Like, they're not winning the division. I'm not buying that. Maybe they could still compete for a wild card spot because the AFC is not any good. But you know what? You have to win games. Pittsburgh's not a great team, but they're going to probably find a way to win at least 9 games. Why? Because Mike Tomlin does that every year. The Jets have no coaching edge in any game. They beat themselves. It sucks. Sucks. This team should be better. We all know it. Anyone who's watched tonight or any of these last 3 games knows it. Texans Jet bringing out his inner Deion Dawkins. Yeah, he was going full shirtless there. I don't know where that was going. All right. More of your calls. Rob the Jet fan is next. Hello, Rob.
Hey, Jake. Can you hear me?
I hear you, Rob.
I don't know what's going on with the visual here. I don't even give a crap, but as long as you can hear me, It's probably better off this way. I hate to say it, but thank God Zach won that competition against me. I would have been really pissed.
You got spared.
If
You
I
got
wasn't this
spared.
team.
That's right.
I got spared, Jake. I got spared. But I tell you, Aaron Rodgers, God bless him. It was 20-10, and I thought we were heading for a blowout. I said, we're going to lose. We're going to get killed now. And he throws a 52-yard Hail Mary, and who comes up with it? Lazard. And now all of a sudden we're back in the game, and I'm jumping up, and I was like, uh-oh. Before that, I was like saying that this is over. This is over already. I was like, I have a bad feeling. And he does this, Aaron Rodgers. He gives us hope. He's doing everything under the stars for us to win, Jake. Everything under the stars. And we just did these stupid little mistakes. All these little dumb penalties. Kinlaw played an awful game. I never want to see that guy play for us ever again. I think he fucking sucks. I don't want to see that guy out on the field anymore. And then Zerloin. What the hell happened to this guy? Greg the Leg. This guy sucks all of a sudden. I mean, just mistake after mistake. And I was like, what the hell's going on here today? I mean, I think we're cursed. We're snake bit. I mean, I don't know if this team is ever going to be good. I mean, I have zero confidence right now, Jake. I mean, every year, like they just take like the goodness from this team away. Somehow, some way, they just know how to fuck up, and it's just damning. Like every time you got to see this crap, and it just I don't have any confidence that we're even going to win in Pittsburgh. I don't. And now Drake May all of a sudden is not half bad. He threw 3 touchdowns this past week. I just don't have confidence right now until they get that win and they go on a little bit of a run. But to be honest with you, Jake, I'm sorry to say this, but they're going to have to start thinking of a new coach next year. I know it's early, and hopefully it turns around. I don't want to sound this way. I really don't. And again, I hope it turns around. But you know what? They got to start thinking of a coach next year. It being either Vrabel or throw a ton of money at Ben Johnson, who looks sensational. That jackass Allen's right about Ben Johnson. He looks really good. But, I mean, I don't have the confidence right now until we put on a winning streak and start winning games that we're supposed to not win. My confidence is gone right now. I just losing it.
I get it, Rob. Look, you shouldn't have confidence right now. This team has given you no reason to have confidence in them. They've given away 3 games in a row where a play here or there and they flip the record completely. That's what bad teams do, though. The coaching was better tonight. The offense was functional. Can we please see it again next week, or is they just going to, this defense going to play well next week and the offense now will suck? I don't know. Playing a very good defense next week. And they're going to have real problems with TJ Watt if Tyron Smith is this washed. Olu should be getting some reps at left tackle this week. It just sucks, man, because you got good quarterback play tonight, and you still couldn't win because you beat yourself. And a guy that has been awesome for the last 2 years, Greg Zuerlein's missing 2 kicks. Like, I guess it's just not meant to be. We're just not meant to have nice things. Because how else do you explain it, man? This game was there for the Jets to take. Whole season's different. They win tonight. They're first place. They're 3-3. Start to get some confidence, and it's just they do that. Cheeseman wrote in shirtless Bobby. That was not Bobby. That was Texan Jet. Alfredo, until Rob shows nips, I don't trust him. I think we could all pass on Rob's nips tonight. We're good. I've seen enough horror show watching the Jets. We're fine. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy was at the game. This poor bastard. Rob V is next. Hello, Rob.
What's up, bro?
You tell me.
Yeah, not too much I could say that, everyone else hasn't shared already. But before we get to the discuss the misery and all that BS, I just wanted to give you your flowers. I've been a fan since day one of you. And I just wanted to say, bro, like, I really appreciate everything that you do. You created a beautiful community, man. I had a great time at the game beforehand. Got to hang out with Jay Quest and his son, Nick 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 Shine and his son, and of course Nate. Um, we had a blast until we went into the game. It was absolutely freezing. I've been going to games, I don't know, 39 years old. Been going to games since I've been like, 6, 7 years old, and this is probably the worst one I've ever went to, and the worst feeling I've had since. I can name a lot of bad losses, but just sitting there in the freezing cold tonight was a disaster. But I just want to, I have a couple points I wanted to make. First one is this. This is a quarterback league, right? Everyone knows it's a quarterback league, but this game is won and lost in the trenches, and I can't wait for the All 22 to drop for this game specifically, because I know you mentioned before. I wasn't sure exactly how many times Aaron got sacked tonight. I think you said 3. But it felt like he got sacked way more than 3. I know he got hit a bunch of times too.
Well, one of them got wiped away by the roughing call that probably should not have been called roughing, but they got the break.
Yeah, true, exactly. But our O-line is atrocious. It's god awful, and what pains me is it was god awful last year, and we went out and spent all this money to get this line built up again, and it's just as bad. It really is. I felt bad for Brees this whole year. He had a good game tonight, though. He really did. I give Brees a lot of credit.
The play calling was better, Rob. They got him in space.
Yeah, the play calling was better.
That's the one positive. It's like, Brees play it's the Jets, so you never know. But if the offense has 2 100-yard receivers and a 100-yard rusher and a quarterback who has 2 touchdowns and a rating of 100, you're gonna win a lot of these games. It's just you still lose because you're the Jets, and that's what kills you.
100% you're expected to win with the numbers that we put up. But my point is, it's dude, think about Buffalo's defense from a year ago. They lost the whole secondary. Milano's out for the year. Ed Oliver didn't play tonight. And they're still getting through. It's what's going on here? And then don't get me started with even the defensive line. I couldn't even, if Nate talks about Tack McKinley, and he hates Tack more than anyone, but sitting in the car ride home from this game, bro, I can't even listen to him or Michael Clemens' name anymore. It's nauseating. It's absolutely pathetic. And we should have won this game easily, 34-23. Easily. Out of the stadium, Bills fans are chanting, blah blah blah, and I'm literally yelling you got a gift tonight. We literally handed you this game. It was a gift because number one, like someone mentioned already, I forget who said it, but Brees, you got to get in the end zone on that, bro. You got one man to beat. Cut to the inside, do what you got to do. I think it was the running back from the Steelers yesterday dive from the 5-yard line. Literally. So how many? That's 15 feet he dove from, and he gets in the end zone. I don't care what you got to do there, Brees. You got to get in. And then the second one, of course, on Braylon Allen's touchdown, that gets called back because of a dumb penalty. How many freaking the penalties, man? It's it doesn't matter who the coach is at this point. They're undisciplined. We have no offensive line, no line. If anyone I hear blame Rodgers, they deserve to be just banned because Rodgers actually played really, really well tonight for under the circumstances. And my last point I'm going to make about Greg Zuerlein, to the last, the guy with the shirt off. Let me tell you something, buddy. You're all the way out in Texas. I don't care what you were saying about the things on top of the post. It was windy as shit. I'm not giving Greg excuses at all. You could ask Nate. If Greg Zuerlein, wasn't so good for us the past couple of years, and his name wasn't Greg Greg Zuerlein, he'd be cut tomorrow. Trust me. But with that said, being at that game, it was windy as all hell.
I get it, Rob. But one of them was like an extra point kick.
Oh yeah, no. One of them was real close. I get it, but that's my point. Like, dude, I would have much rather have kept Seibert. Seriously, bro, he kick all year.
Yeah, and typical unfortunate Jet luck. Zerline is bad and Seibert's great, but it's like you couldn't know that going in. You imagine they cut Zerline and Seibert was struggling. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't really blame anyone for the Greg Zerline stuff. He's been one of the best kickers in the league the last 2 years, and now he's just bad. I mean, it sucks. They play like this offensively on Sunday night, like they have a great chance to win. I would think, but I don't know against the Steelers defense they're going to do that. They're going to have a real problem with TJ Watt in 5 days. They got to, basically have an extra lineman in on a lot of plays next week. Hit the like button if you're tuning in. We're approaching nearly 2 hours of Jets talk. Post-game show, post-game therapy after every Jet game. Ugh. At least the baseball teams won today. Mets evened up the series. Yankees set the tone. It just sucks. Angel says, my bad for shirtlessness. I'll wear one next time. I guess Angel is Texan Jet. That's his username. It's okay, Angel. Thanks for the comedy. John says, we haven't seen our offense look this good in a loss in a decade. Death by paper cuts. Football gods hate us. Stop blaming coaching. We were the better team. Look, people are going to blame the coaching. I get it. The penalty stuff is deplorable, remains a problem. I think Ulbricht's going to need more than 5 days to correct that. I hope it gets better. This was on the players tonight. Players play, man. Like, Garrett, catch the ball in the end zone. He took a big hit. Catch it. Brees, win your one-on-one. Don't drop a 3rd and 4 on the opening drive. Instead of 3 points there, maybe it's 7. Tyron Smith, don't commit a holding penalty that wipes away a Braylon Allen touchdown, which, by the way, great play call. Use him as the fullback. Gave him the ball. Everyone's keying on Brees, thinking they're going to pitch it to the outside. Boom, it's Braylon Allen and 245 pounds of mass up the back. That's a good play call. It's a good play design. And they fucking ruin it because they suck. Because it's always something. And it's disgusting. Just beat themselves. Like this game is criminal, man. They got great quarterback play and still lost. We got the Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary we've dreamed about, and they still lost. It's brutal. TH3 is up next. What's up, TH3 Entertainment?
Hey, Jake. First of all, thank you just for taking our calls at 2 a.m. after that fucking shit show. This is basically, like you said, it's like therapy. It's venting. I'm 31 years old. I feel like I'm fucking in my 60s or 70s every time I watch a game with the Jets. It's a heart attack. It's like hope, and they rip it away, and then or they're just getting the shit kicked out of them. Like, and it's what blows my mind is that it's always the ways that are they find new surprising ways to lose. It's like Forrest Gump, like a box of fucking chocolates, ways to lose. You just reach in and find a different one. Like all the things I was certain were going to be good and functional this year were not. Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall just disappeared in the beginning of the season. Fucking awful. I know we can talk about this a lot on like the coaching but it's inexcusable. Your star players. Like, and then even when they start to get right, the defense, the one thing we thought, maybe they take a little step back, losing Franklin Myers and whatever, but they got this guy, they got that guy. They're unwatchable. I can't watch these people. My only 2 experiences like with the Jets that were really like big and meaningful this year, I went to go see the Denver shit show live. I bought my little baby son a Sauce Gardner jersey while I was there. That's how like invested I was. You know, I'm there with my dad. I've only been to 2 live games. This is my experience with live games with the Jets. My first live game with the Jets was Aaron Rodgers coming out with that flag against Buffalo opener, blowing his fucking Achilles 4 plays in. That was my first game seeing the Jets. Then my next game is in the rain with Denver. Horrible fucking game. They lose on a missed kick and a million other reasons why they lost that game. Now I'm watching this game with my dad, and like you said, we get the Aaron Rodgers dream Hail Mary, like to pull us back in, because like other callers said, I was done by halftime, and I get sucked back in by this fucking team over and over. I'm sorry I'm cursing so much, but I don't know what to do with myself with this goddamn team anymore. Like, it's unfucking believable. It's just penalties. It's just like only the Jets will lose. Mike Williams, who like up to this point we're all saying like he's underutilized. He's been playing pretty well. Why don't they throw to him more? Well, I guess we know why now, because he slips in the open field to blow the fucking game. People can say what they want about the Rodgers throw. It was a lollipop or whatever, but it went right fucking to him. He's standing up. Like you said, at least that's an incompletion. If not, he catches it. And we live to see another day. And Garrett Wilson just disappears from the game. I understand he took a big hit, but he's in the game. You put him back in the game. He was tearing them up. He was your only functional piece on the fucking offense, and he just disappears. Other than like Breece Hall, you know what I mean? Finally, we're getting throws to the running back. Like, who would have thought Breece Hall, one of the most explosive backs in football, could make plays happen in space? It's unbelievable. Like that's the only positive, but I can't even fucking enjoy it. This is just, I'm ranting like so hard. I'm 4 shots of tequila deep, 3 blunts in. Like it.
I appreciate it, TH3. Look, Garrett had a good game tonight. Obviously, there's a play he wants back. He's got to catch that ball in the end zone. He took a huge hit. Garrett played well tonight. Now, Lazard even played well tonight. He called out. I don't think Lazard had a drop tonight. He had the one penalty that negated a huge play, but, you know, everyone had a penalty tonight. It's just sucks. I mean, if you tell me they play like this offensively against Pittsburgh Sunday night, like, all right. But I have no confidence that's going to be the case. They got to make sure Rodgers makes it through that game with TJ Watt coming after him. That's a real concern of mine. Should be everyone's concern. There's always idiots who watch this show. This guy, Brandon Rowland, I want to shout you out, Brandon. You were tonight's dumbass of the night. Brandon wrote in, Zach Wilson looks better and better every day that goes by. No, he does not. Zach Wilson is a third-string quarterback on a shit football team in Denver. Aaron Rodgers now has more touchdown passes already this year than Zach Wilson had all last year. The problem is the Jets' record's worse this year than it is last year. It's because last year, Greg Zuerlein didn't miss a kick. And this year, they've directly lost 2 games because their field goal kicker has missed kicks. That's the only difference. Then it all fell apart for Zach, too. Why? Because he sucks. Like you do. You suck. Enjoy the hole. Never watch my show again. The world, not just the community here on YouTube, the world will be a better place if you never tune in again. Goodbye. Bum.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
The fact that there's still Wilson truthers out there is embarrassing. A couple things can be true here. The Jets have major issues, and Zach Wilson's also a terrible quarterback. Let's not make it anything more than that. Robert C. is on the line. He's next. Hello, Robert.
Hi, Jake. How are you?
Robert, I don't think I could be doing any better.
Oh, you could be doing a lot better.
Just a little bit.
At least the Yankees won. There was a lot of interesting things about this game. At the beginning of the game, if you notice it's like the Jets couldn't stop the Bills running, right? At that point, it looked like it was going to be 40-0. I mean, a lot of things were brought up. The announcer said something about the Jets blocking scheme, the long run by Brace Hall. The announcer said something had something to do with the blocking scheme.
Why he didn't score a touchdown on that play?
No, he didn't. I mean, it went up to the 4-yard line, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, Brees played very well tonight. He had his best game of the season by far. There's just one play where he had a one-on-one. It was on the run where I think it was a 41-yard rush. He should have won the one-on-one with the Bills defender and scored a touchdown. And ultimately,
Yeah,
they
I
settled for a
said
field goal.
finally. Brees broke that run, and I said finally. You know, that means they got something going. Near the end of the game, one receiver had the ball. I think it hit him in the chest, and it fell. Then it hit him in the leg, and he almost pulled it back. And then it was intercepted after that.
Yeah, Mike Williams. Yeah.
And then the play at the end where the player, the ball it hit his shoulder and he almost pulled it in and Buffalo intercepted it.
Yeah, the last play of the game, essentially.
Was that Williams also?
Yeah, Mike Williams had a drop on like a quick hot route where he turned and it hit him in the chest. He dropped it. And then he had the drop, not a drop, but he slipped on the turf coming back for the ball, which Rodgers said afterwards he ran the wrong route anyway, and he still gave him a chance to make a play on it, and he messed up.
And one of Zerling's kicks that he missed, it hit the inside of the upright and still bounced out.
Only the Jets, Robert.
Right. They're missing DJ Reed and not Echo. Echo's played, right? And Michael Carter.
Carter didn't play tonight. Reed got hurt, so they were down two of their top three.
Tyron Smith is probably losing it now. If the Jets had Tyron Smith for the first 10 years, it has to be the year he starts losing something that the Jets pick him up.
Yeah, I mean, look, he was a second-team All-Pro. Even if he was not that guy, he's playing like Mekhi Becton right now, which is shocking because he was really good last year. And the concern with Tyron Smith was not would he be good, it's would he be healthy. He's been healthy and he hasn't been good.
Did Morgan Moses play, or he's still out?
No, he played. He just wasn't very good tonight either.
And first-round draft pick, Banano, how do you say it? Fashino, whatever. What's he called?
Olu Fashino?
Yeah, I mean, how did he do?
He didn't really play.
Oh, what happened? Is he injured or he's out of the lineup?
Well, he's a tackle, and he's not one of their starting tackles right now.
Oh, because Morgan Moses played, so Fashio's back out now.
Correct.
That's what
yes. Yeah.
I mean, just the Jets need a few things going, and it's like they're a little short in a lot of areas. They play a little better in every area. I mean, it could make a big difference.
Look,
a lot short in a little areas.
Robert, I think what they have to do starting next week is score more points than the opponent, and if they do that after 60 minutes, they'll get a win.
Playing Pittsburgh. All right, so the offensive line is going to be real important next week.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah. Pittsburgh Steelers are tough. That's going to be a tough win.
Hi, everyone. Jets got to get things going next week. I mean, they play Pittsburgh and they play New England after that, and probably the week after New England's the bye week. They're going to play Miami twice in December. They've got the Texans. I think they're going to play Jacksonville again. I mean, you all have a good week.
Thanks for the time, Robert. Really appreciate it. I think we all needed that call. It's been a tough night. Thank you, Robert C. Angel Rivera, I see your super chat. I will not read it, but thank you for contributing. TH3 writes in, my dad said his most heartbreaking memory as a Jet fan was the Mud Bowl. Can you explain what exactly it was and what happened? TH3, there's this thing called Google, which will be very useful for this. All right. I'll give you a little precursor to the Mud Bowl. AJ Dewey. I'll leave it at that. Let's say hello to Peter Castro, who was in a great mood tonight after that Jet performance. Hello, Peter.
Hello, Jake. I've calmed down. I'm very calm now.
I'm not, but I'm glad you
I can tell you this. They stink. They're beating nobody. All right? The Giants are better than them. Pittsburgh's better than them. Even Tennessee, we were lucky to beat. All right? We're not winning 5 games with this team. This coaching staff stinks. It always stunk, and they can't overcome it. They don't know how to coach. They don't know how to coach. The line don't know how to coach. They don't know how to move. The only guy out there that's really playing is Aaron Rodgers, and he's getting killed. He's getting killed. He has no help anywhere. There's no discipline whatsoever. No discipline on this team. They have nothing. There's no focus. There's nothing. There's something wrong. There's something wrong inside that clubhouse, and they have to get rid of all. At the end of this year, they all got to go. Every one of them's got to go. They stink. They absolutely stink. There's no way that they're winning anything the way they're playing. They could have won this game 40 times. 40 times, and they gave it away every time they had a chance. And the field goal kicker, get him out of here. Told you in the beginning when he missed in preseason, here we go. Once they start missing, they're never the same. I don't know. They had Siebert. They let him go. They stink. They absolutely stink. I fucking had it with them. No excuse. There's no excuse for losing this game. No excuse. And that Kinlaw with all those penalties, why did he pull him out of the game before and sit him down? He's doing nothing. Kinlaw stinks, all right? And the Jet defense stinks. It stinks. They can't stop a run. They can't stop anything. Now they're running at Sauce Gardner, pushing him down the field 10 yards because they know he can't tackle anybody. It's too much. It's overwhelming. I don't know what we do to. I mean, we're going to go through a shit season again. This season's not getting better.
It feels like it. I mean, they're 2-4. I mean, it's not over yet, but 2-5. I don't see it. So it feels like it's as close to a must win as you can have in mid-October next week.
Pittsburgh's gonna annihilate us, and now you're gonna.
I don't feel good about it. I do not feel good about it. I think the Jets are they're already going in with a huge coaching disadvantage. Now. Look, the Jets have the quarterback advantage, but the coaching disadvantage is just too much right now. Especially Pittsburgh's got a really good defense. They're going to be prepared, and they're going to have a game plan that they're going to run the football on the Jets. They'll have long drives, and it's going to be hard to win that game, even with the quarterback advantage they have.
Well, did you notice tonight the whole stadium knew that Josh Allen was going to run the ball at Clemens? I mean, the Jets had to know that they were going to run. I mean, they're totally clueless. This coaching staff is terrible. They're just terrible. I know it's Ulbricht's first week, but he's not going to make a difference. I can see already. That team didn't play any better.
I will say this. The offensive play calling was much better tonight. They looked like an NFL offense tonight.
The offensive play calling was a little bit better, Jake. It wasn't. Maybe with Hackett, it was a lot better.
It was. Now the problem is they didn't execute in the red zone though, and it's like you go as you said, they should have won this game 40 times. Yeah, if they converted a touchdown in the red zone, they were 1 for 4 in the red zone. It's unacceptable.
How about Garrett Wilson catching a ball? The ball was right in his hands. I know he got hit hard, but you know what? Good players catch those balls.
I agree. Brees Hall, you got to win the one-on-one, right? You got one guy to beat. You're Brees Hall. You're supposed to be the best running back in the league. Beat him. Get to the end zone. Score.
Yeah. Like, what's up with him? That he would have lost that guy 10 times last year or the year before. That last guy at the end zone that tackled him. He stopped and let him tackle. All he had to do was cut in, and he had a touchdown. I don't know. It's going to be a long year. It's going to be a long year, so brace yourself because I can tell you already, this team, if we win 7 games, we're going to be lucky. This roster is so much better than the coaching staff. It's a joke. It's a joke. You can't, I don't see them getting better. I don't see them getting better. I don't see them winning more than 7 or 8 games. They stink.
Yeah, look, I mean, they right now I'm with you. You know, they wouldn't be the first team to go from 2-4 to the playoffs, but no one wants to hear that right now. They gotta do it. You beat Pittsburgh, and we can talk. That's what it comes down to.
You actually think they have a chance against Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I do. I actually do because it's probably going to be close and painful. I wouldn't pick them to win, but it's like that's the thing. This team makes it as excruciatingly painful as possible. They could have laid down and got blown out in London last week. It would have been easier to stomach. No, they'll give you an opportunity to come back and win the game and tease you. Same thing tonight. They could have got blown out down 20-10. No, Rodgers going to throw for an unbelievable Hail Mary, make it a game. They're gonna have. They're going to tie this game up early in the second half and then blow it. Like, they're going to find a way to be probably in a 1-score game against the Steelers, either up or down, and it's going to be painful and they'll lose. That's how I see it going.
It's too painful, Jake. Just too painful. Sit there and watch this. It's like drinking poison. It's horrible.
I know. It shouldn't be like this. You know, even with the issues with coaching, it's like the players still got to play. And this was a player loss more than a coaching loss to me tonight. They had a chance.
Well, these players are used to getting away with murder, and they're still getting away with murder.
They don't know how to win. They don't know how to win because they weren't coached properly. So they don't know how to close out games. There's a mentality to winning, and they don't know how to win.
No. Anyway, have a good night, Jake.
I'll do my best, Peter. You hang in there, all right?
All right, take it easy.
At least Alan Lazard showed a pulse tonight, all right? That's your guy.
Alan Lazard's been playing he played very good tonight. I mean, you can't expect him to be playing any better than that. You know, but everybody's got to step up, even Mike Williams. I mean, and the other thing, Jake, I noticed that the refs were throwing flags all night, right? And during the middle of the game, we all of a sudden we stopped throwing the ball down the field. They were throwing flags almost on every play. Why weren't the Jets throwing the ball down the field?
Agreed. Well, guys, I think they were worried about Rodgers getting hit, so they didn't want to have long developing routes because they couldn't trust Tyron Smith to block anyone tonight. All of it plays a part in that.
That's true. All right, Jake. Have a good night.
Peter, at least the Yankees won, my man. 3 wins away from the World Series. Oh, yeah. I'll be in the Bronx tomorrow for game 2. We got Garrett Cole on the mound. Let's step on their throats. F Cleveland. Let's continue with your calls right now. We still got some people on hold. If you're on hold, I guarantee we will get to you. Thank you for waiting. Let's say hello to David, who's next. Hello, David.
What up, Jake? How's it going?
What's up, man?
I mean, everyone's been saying, what they've been saying, but man, I just want to say, we left too many points on the board. It's ridiculous. Brees should have scored. It's crazy that we didn't score. Greg, 2 missed field goals. Dude, we win that game. You know what I mean? We win that game. It's frustrating because he wasn't a problem last year. And now he's a problem this year.
No, he was very good. He was great the last 2 years, man. And he hit a lot of tough kicks in brutal weather conditions. So it's like these people making excuses with the wind. I get it. All right, you missed one of them, but one of them was a 32-yarder. That's an extra point. That's a PAT.
Yeah.
Hit it.
And we didn't play. I don't want to say we played better than the Bills, but we played enough to win. We should have won this game, and I don't know. And the frustrating thing is we'll be back next week watching this team. We're gonna be there, hopeful, and if we win, then we're on our high horse, and everyone's like, all right, we went out, especially if the Bills lose and shit. But everyone's been saying what I've been thinking, but it's crazy. Appreciate you always, doing this live stream too. Gives us therapy.
Thanks, David. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I mean, we will be there next week. The whole country's gonna be watching too. It's just you can't escape it, man. Sunday Night Football. Yeah, this team was supposed to be different, man. It really is a shame. David with a super chat. Jake, they find a way to disappoint us year after year. We have no luck. We need the team to play better. Jeff fan for 37 years. Still feels the same. I know. I know. This one hurts more to me, though, David, because this team has a good quarterback. I'm not saying Rodgers is the MVP of the league like he once was. He's good, though. He played very well tonight, and they still lost. That's what sucks. It's like we finally have a good quarterback, and this team still can't fucking win with one. It's amazing. Bobbleneck says, why did we not go for 1/4 and however long in the red zone, especially knowing the wind was so bad, and we had I don't know how many missed attempts? I mean, come on, man. What was the example where they should have went for it? You know, Salah was getting killed last week that he went for it in Minnesota instead of taking the points when they were down 10-0. Ulbrich, I thought, made the right move, tying the game up at 20. I can't think of another example. Like, Zerline, the second missed kick he had, they were not on the side where the wind was bad tonight, if you remember. Remember they talked about for those who were not at the game on the broadcast, one of the end zones was clearly the bad side. They highlighted that. They mentioned it. The second missed kick by Zerline was not on the bad side. He just missed. It's a 43-yarder. He's got to hit it. All right, that's a gimme in the NFL, 43 yards. Angel says, off topic, Reddick mental issues excuse coming. I don't know. You know, if Reddick wants to show up and actually play football, great. We'll take him. I don't know if he's going to be that much of a difference maker. We'll see. See what type of shape he's in. Tell you what, if he's out there on the last play tonight, healthy and fresh over Michael Clemens, maybe they do get the ball back and do something. I don't know. I have no answers, man. Everything we thought about this team, like, there's no answers to explain it. They actually are getting good quarterback play in some of these games and still losing. I mean, that's when you know. You know the curse is real and we're the better team and still find a way to lose. Yeah. One of 4 in the red zone, 11 penalties. It's a couple plays here or there, and this team has a winning record right now. Team's in first place. Sucks. Everything about tonight sucks. Once again, these fans, everyone watching, doing a post-game show till 2 o'clock in the morning right now. Everyone deserves better. Because we care. If you didn't care, you wouldn't be watching right now. Let's say hello to Jay. He's up next. Hello, Jay. What's up, Jay? I'm having some connection issues. Let me get you on. Hold on one second. When this many people join the stream, it crashes. It sucks. Stand by. Let's go to Jay right now. Let's see. What's up, Jay? You hear me?
Oh, yeah, man. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I hear you. I can't see you, but I can hear you, so that's all that matters.
Okay, man. I appreciate all the hard work you do for the channel and everything, man. But I know I've been a Jets fan since 2000. We sat through a lot of losses and everything. And I know it's all the part of being a Jets fan right now. Can you hear me?
I hear you, Jay. Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, man. But then I got to be honest, man. I'm getting disappointed with the NFL and everything, man. I don't want to get too off topic, but man, this is just getting hard to watch, man, to be honest. I mean, there's no reason why Breece Hall should have not scored that touchdown, and just all the penalties and everything. It's just, I feel like this is just getting harder and harder to watch, man, at the end of the day. And I've been a diehard sports fan since I was 10 years old. I'm 34 years old right now, man. It's just, and I don't want to, put the tinfoil hat on and everything, but my gosh, that was just a shit show they put on tonight, man, at all the costs, man. I mean, obviously I sat through losses with the Jets for many a years, but the NFL they're disappointing me week after week now with this, man. I don't want to be the tinfoil hat guy by any stretch, but that was just a shit show they put on tonight.
It was bad for both teams, though, to be fair. The Jets got gifted roughing call that wasn't roughing on Rodgers.
Even that call, and I call it how it is. I mean, they're like, even that penalty, it's just like, come on. I feel like the influence is on too many. It's too strong on these games now. And I sat through a lot of losses. And after watching tonight's game, I'll be honest, I almost rather go back and watch the Adam Gase BS than sit through what I watched tonight. That was just that was pathetic from the NFL tonight. I mean, the fact that Breece couldn't score, then the defense, this defense has gotten after Josh Allen the last 2 years, and they act like they couldn't sack him tonight. I'm like, come on, man. This product of the NFL is just getting worse and worse by the day. Obviously, I don't want to be too critical because I know, obviously what you're doing with your job, and I respect everything that you're doing. But man, this is just becoming a shit show.
Well, the refs are bad, Jay. I mean, this is not new. The officiating in the NFL is a huge problem. There's too many rules, too many penalties. There's no consistency. I mean, this was a brutal game from like a neutral standpoint. Like I saw a lot of the tweets from people who cover the league or fans of other teams. This was an unwatchable game. Like someone I saw tweeted, you got Aaron Rodgers with the ball down 3, and this is unwatchable. Like that should be what the NFL is all about. Hall of Fame quarterback with a chance to go win the game. Like the officiating was trash tonight. The Jets also got us not be dumb. Tyron Smith's got to not be dumb. The officiating was bad by both sides. The Jets lost tonight not because of the refs. Didn't help. But they lost because they beat themselves. It sucks. The whole thing sucks. Hey, another reminder. I know the Jets lost tonight. We're in pain. But we're going to have a great watch party a week from tonight. Or less than a week from tonight now. Sunday night, T-Squared Social. Come join us. We'll have giveaways, drink specials. If the Jets are going to drop the 2 and 5, you're going to want to join us and be around your fellow Asmaniacs to deal with the pain. Or they might win. They might win. I don't know. When do we think most of the calls are predicting a win? They played Monday night. Do we think it's Thursday or Friday this week when not only are the Jets winning, but it's guaranteed they're winning? When do we get to that part of the week? Let's say hello to 25. He's next. 25, what do you got?
What up, brother? I got a lot to say. First off, Breece Hall is never touching another fucking parlay for me again. Ever again. 3 weeks, not one touchdown. I had 5 parlays today. Everything else hit besides the anytime touchdown for Breece Hall. And then at this point, Keith Carter's a terrorist because Rodgers is going to die. He's going to die. And Breece Hall, military tribunal for him. It's done. I'm done with it. How does he forget how to play football? I don't get. Only us. Only our team.
I mean, the problem is he was really good tonight, besides, the criticisms on that one play where he had 41 yards but didn't get in the end zone. Please stop putting him in your parlays. You're the problem.
Okay. Fair. And then the Hail Mary. I feel like they set us up. They're showing us all of Rodgers' other Hail Marys, like setting us up for that to happen. And I'm watching the game with my brother and my dad, and my brother goes, "We just got to get out of bounds for a field goal." I'm like, what about a Hail Mary for a touchdown? And of course it happens. And then we just fall apart. Like, I don't know what type of deal Woody Johnson made with the devil, but the offense did what they had to do today for the most part, outside of like a few minor things.
They didn't score in the red zone. That's the difference in the game. They got to the red zone 4 times. They only converted once. Like, that's not good enough.
The defense was significantly worse, though. The last 2 games, the offense was inept for entirely, but the defense played great. Why does the defense forget how to play football today? They let up the
they
run.
Were brutal
the
in the
defense
first.
was horrible.
Yeah,
Horrible.
Well, because part of it is because Josh Allen's really good and he accounts for a lot of attention. So, there's holes that are there for other guys to take advantage of because you're spying Allen. You're concerned about him. Like it's week to week matchups, styles make fights. So that's part of all this. It's just the defense played bad in the first half. And then in the second half, like there were opportunities there for the Jets to win the game. Like their kicker, who's been one of the best in the league the last 2 years, he hits 2 kicks. Like, they win. And it's like that's the problem. The margin for error is very, very tiny with this team right now.
Another thing, only us Jets fans would we have an elite kicker last year. This year, he forgets how to play football. He misses easy kicks that he made last year with ease. And he forgets how to play football. And I guess the last thing I'll say is Kinlaw, no wonder he was a first-round bust. What he did today and how he reacted to it, horrible and not acceptable. He needs to be released or benched. Same thing with Clemens. I'm done with him. I'm done. If you say anything about Clemens, I'm done. I knew Rodgers was going to have a great game today. I was at the New England game. What did he do? Night game, prime time, 281, 2 touchdowns. He does all better today. Better today. We beat the Bills twice with Zach Wilson. We can't beat him today with I think probably 5 times a better roster. Like, what at this point, what's the problem? Was getting rid of Robert Saleh a scapegoat? Like, do we have a deeper issue with this team? Are we just cursed? Like, I just don't know what to point to. You can point to things that we did wrong, but it still doesn't give us a reason on why we lost or why we should lose. It's over.
Your best players didn't play like your best players in the pivotal moments. That's what it comes down to, right? Like your veterans, right? Mike Williams slips with the game on the line, leads to an interception at the end there.
I need to see the film on that, though, because I get that he slipped, but I'm positive I saw 2 other throws Rodgers could make that gets us into field goal range or gets us the first down. And I saw other plays like that, too. I think the throw to Rutkert where we lost yards, you're looking at like 3 or 4 defensive players on his side and maybe like 1 or 2 on Breece Hall's side on that play, and he doesn't throw to Breece. I don't get it. Rodgers is not – he made mistakes. He did.
Of course, he wasn't perfect, but like he's the least of their problems tonight. I mean, he wasn't the one responsible for the 11 penalties. You know, the opening drive, they settled for 3 because Breece drops a 3rd and 4 that would have got him a first down. So it's
another problem. Yeah,
it's everyone, man.
Did you see that though? He reached out with 1 hand instead of reaching out with 2. Like, you can reach out for 2 there. Why are we going out with 1 hand? He makes that catch last year 9 times out of 10.
Of course, yeah.
Why now? Like, what's going on? Is there something
I
deeper?
don't know.
Like, is there something deteriorating our locker room? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't.
I mean, I think this team is feeling a lot of pressure on itself. I do. Yeah, they're pressing. I think that's part of it. Your best players need to be your best players, like. And the veterans you're relying on, Tyron Smith was a 2nd-team All-Pro last year. I understand he's an older player, but he shouldn't be this bad. He shouldn't be washed. And it's just this was such a bad performance, such a frustrating performance. Guys got to do their job tonight. I like Jeff Ulbrich and this coaching staff. Like, they were in a tough spot tonight. You know, the defense, you say what you want about the first half, it wasn't good enough. They settled down and gave this team a chance in the second half. If this offense wasn't inept in the red zone, or if Greg Zuerlein could hit a kick, or if Tyron Smith didn't commit there's all these things. It's like, you know, Aaron Rodgers today, he had 5 pass breakups, 3 drops, 3 off-target throws. Like, he played really well, and you still lost. People are like, oh, they have no chance against Pittsburgh. Sure, they got a chance against Pittsburgh. They got Aaron Rodgers. You're going to be in all these games. We've seen it. Even when Aaron didn't play well last week in London, you still had a chance. Having a quarterback gives you a chance, but when you beat yourself, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Hefe writes in, my other account got banned for saying that Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson is better than Rodgers. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Be a damn shame if we banned this account too. See ya.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
I can't, man. I can't even. My everything on my computer is lagging right now. I can't even play clips or even know when I'm back from playing a video. StreamYard, you fucking suck like the Jets offense in the red zone. and like Tyron Smith. Let me say that. Oh, I'm so mad right now. I'm done. Big Islander fan wrote in. Couple last super chats, then we'll wrap this post game. I can't take the penalties anymore. WTF is going on? I'm so aggravated and frustrated with the calls. Rodgers getting killed out there. Dumb team. Yeah, if there's a way to describe the Jets, they are a dumb team. They beat themselves. Some of that you could say is coaching. I think we got to hold these players responsible. Tyron Smith doesn't need to be coached. He should know not to commit a holding penalty. He's going to the Hall of Fame. You should know. Jake, where do we go from here? I need motivation. Look, I mean, here's what it comes down to, right? They win on Sunday. They're 3-4. Then you go to New England with a chance to get back to 500. That's it. I mean, where do they go from here? I mean, that's it. Like, I would expect next Sunday night to be a close game, stressful, and I would not pick the Jets right now, but, you know, it's fresh. They just lost tonight. Like, who knows? You know, they're not 0-5. They're 2-4. There's been 2-4 teams, plenty of which have made the playoffs. It sucks. They should not be 2-4. They should be bare minimum 3-3. 4-2, I would think, is realistic. You know, someone wrote in the chat. I'm seeing the comment here. I don't see who wrote it. It doesn't say a name because my StreamYard's messed up. But like the Patriots win feels like an eternity ago. You got to win. It was Lasso who wrote that. Yeah, I mean, you've lost 3 in a row since, but that Pats game, remember you had 9 days after that before the Bronco game, so it sucks. And the whole thing just stinks. I do know this. This team is certainly better than 2-4. So maybe if they could actually win some of these games that they should win, and they can still turn things around. That's what you're hoping for. You know, if you win the next 2, you're back at 500. Doesn't feel like they're going to win again, but like, you know, this team's not going to finish with 2 wins. They will win some games. It just tonight was disgusting though. There's no other way around it. No one wants to hear the positives. I don't want to hear the positives. Positives are the Yankees are 3 wins away from going to the World Series, and if you're a Met fan, same thing could be said. There's your positives for today. Oh, and all 3 local hockey teams won, and the Liberty won yesterday. So only the Jets lost today in New York sports, and the Giants last night they lost. New York football continues to stink. But I'll tell you what, if Brian Dable's the Jet coach, they win tonight. You know, we'll find out what Ulbrich is. I'm not going to kill Ulbrich. I don't even really put this on him. But, like, having a good coach matters. Like, Dable gets, I think, the most he possibly could get out of Daniel Jones. He's not any good. He went to a playoff game with him. Won a playoff game with him. I think Brian Dable can coach. It's not perfect, but he's way better than Saleh. Cheeseman says, Jake, Jake. Thanks for the therapy. Cheeseman, good call earlier, man. I appreciate you. Oh, man. I want to thank the audience for tuning in. You guys were great. We're all in this together. I've said that how many times? The last 4 years I've been doing this now. Thanks to everyone who watched. Hit the like button on your way out of here. Super chats, couldn't do it without you. I'm going to plug it all week, man. And we need people at this watch party. We need Jet fans to come together. RSVP with the link I have in the description if you want to come on down. Once again, thank you to everyone for the support on the postgame show. It's almost 2:30 Eastern time in the morning. So we'll be back. Quick turnaround. 10 a.m. Joe B's coming on. I'd imagine Joe is not pleased with what he watched tonight. Oh, man. I can't. Like the video on your way out of here. Reminder, you can get the show in podcast form on either Apple or Spotify if you haven't done so already. Jet fans, hang in there. Hang in there. I would tell you it gets better, but I don't believe that myself. But this community only grows because it's the best community out there. Thanks to all the callers again. I appreciate all of you. I'll end tonight's show with a simple message. A message we'll hear tomorrow at 10 a.m. Oh, the pain.
Disgusting franchise that masquerades themselves as an NFL football team. I hate this team. I hate them. I hate them.